Hello, everyone. It's Annette. This is In the Know 360, bringing you unfiltered stories, game, and exclusive drops from the next wave of stars. And now you're locked into In the Know 360, where real conversations meet raw talent. Let's go. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to In the Know 360, show hosted by me, Annette, the warm-hearted warrior diva. This show gives you insights on the journeys of high-achieving business owners and music artists who share with the audience the importance of building a strong community of like-minded individuals on the road to greater success. And tonight, I have the pleasure and honor of welcoming Mr. Melvin Farmer. Salute.
Same to you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity for myself and others' voices and stories to be heard.
Well, thank you so much, sir. I'm going to hand the mic over to you so you can do an introduction of who Mr. Melvin Farmer is.
My name is Melvin Farmer, and we'll run through. I'm an author, the director of a movie called Put the Guns Down, a World Epidemic, which you'll hear later on about how some youth, not youth, but men, took a stance and made something to represent our city where the story can be told about the culture, the history, rap. We're dealing in murder, whether it be friend, family, or foe. We're looking at it from all aspects. You have on a police report, you'll have victim, suspect, and witness. Like I went to Lil Durk's trial as a consultant because I did 37 years in prison. I'm the first three strikers to ever get out, which led to me being an author is one of my titles with the book, The New Slave Ship, Three Strikes You In, Not Out. And we did what we could to put this together. Then I wrote an initiative, the 2020 initiative to try to, on an initiative, Valerie, rest in peace, Valerie Monroe, the NAACP, I helped the Death Row 10. And so I've been an advocate, but this.
You co founded, right, one of the most recognized street gangs, the eight Trey Gangsta Crips. What led you down the path and what woke you up?
Well, at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I was the number one of the ranked basketball players in the United States city. But I was getting shot at. First, we had a bad incident where we fought them off. We was 14, 18, and 19 because Tookie and them fighting them at 18. And we represented St. Andrews Park. By 15, I had got shot at on a basketball court, right on the court. And that led me from the courts to the corners.
Oh, wow.
And I've been around Tookie and all them, Tookie and everything. When you see them pictures, I met him through his sister, Bridget, in the 8th grade. So I've been knowing Tookie. And then I joined the Crips. I watched every piece of history, haven't missed a minute because they were forming at St. Andrews Park 80% of the time, or Sportsman Park. The other 20%, that'll be in the hundreds, what they call today, Barefoot Pookie, O'Neill Brown, Warlock, a whole lot of them. That's the hundreds. And from there, that lasted from 71 to about 72, short-lived because Tookie moved to Compton. And from there, we splintered off when he moved to Compton, and that's when the set starts that you hear today, A-Trey Gangsta Trip, Rolling 6111, Compton CC Riders, and stuff like that. And from there, that led me down the path. I ended up having 40 arrests by the age of 18, 30-some years in prison. I'm going to get an award in Chicago for a wrongful conviction. Out of 2 million applicants, mine was so outrageous and outrageous, but my resilience to give back stood me out. So we'll be doing that. So that's a little bit about my life. I received a life sentence while I was framed by police in 1994. 3 strikes come out. One of the first to be arrested up under it, the first ever in the history to ever get out from a 25 years to life plus a consecutive 10-year sentence, just in case I died and came back for $2 worth of dope.
Oh,
And
wow.
from there, I wrote a book, The New Slave Ship, Three Strikes You In, because the men that I left behind, their voices are silent, and I'm still here today to speak
Right.
for them as we continue on. And from there, I did Civil Rights, Million Man March, with Coretta Scott King, Dorothy Hyatt, the first one, Geronimo Pratt, uh, Johnny Cochran, Boys to Men, uh, all of us, we were 7 to know that was 99. Let me tell you a story about Mrs. Coretta Scott King.
Okay.
As
I
I
can
had this on,
I'm
and
sorry, sir.
yes, ma'am.
Do you mind if you put I can only see half of your face. I didn't want to interrupt. It's such a wonderful story.
Let me see. Let me hook
Thank
this
you.
up, but because I
Thank
took the time. Let me see.
thank
Can
thank
you hear
you.
me
Yes, yes, sir.
now? And at this time, before internet, I used to be on Front Page, KGLH, Kindness, Joy, Love, and Happiness. I had a show where we were actually staying in D.C. called the Bo Better Man Blues Show. I'm doing civil rights back then. And so I had called Stevie Wonder, and I said, hey, man, ain't nobody reporting about this historical event. And I say, I'll give you coverage. And, back then, it's like just having a phone or a camera, but I
Right.
could call them. And so I was in the VIP tent. I was with Amadou Diallo parents that got killed in New York. I remember talking to them. And I went down and see Mrs. Scott, Mrs. King, and the other lady who introduced herself as Dorothy Hyatt.
Hmm.
And they had been together since the black days of the Women Black Caucus, since it started in the 40s.
Wow.
So it was an honor for me. But what I noticed about Mrs. Scott, with all this she been through, and I was in Memphis when Martin Luther King got killed.
Mm.
My mama and them from Memphis. I witnessed that day it happened, and went there the day after my mama died. And I hear people say fuck her and shit and disrespect of her husbands and all over the internet. But that's another story because I'm gonna address that another day. And I looked at her shoes, both of them, with that much power and that much knowledge. And they both had on why pay more when you could pay less shoes. Didn't cost $10, the shoes they had on.
Mm.
And with all that, they wasn't worried about no clothes. And that talk, it humbles.
Yes.
It humbles. So that's a story there. And that's a
Wow.
little bit about me. But now we made a movie, what we are talking about today,
Yes.
5, 6 years ago. And this is to swear, because most of them that you might interview about this movie, it's only really 4 people that actually got there. And this is how I thought could turn into a reality.
Mm.
I just had finished filming one of the most watched documentary with Critical Concept and Don Skorowski, who brought in Nipsey Hussle. And they were filming Who Killed Biggie Small, Tupac for Fox, national around the globe. Ice-T. So we already had a relationship. In fact, this started to the downfall of Keefe D, who would eventually get arrested. Now, if you remember, the movie, the one we made right after that, Suge Knight's girl got arrested for getting 75,000 from this because they had to sneak it to him. That was I was the one in charge because I could get those through Ayatollah Marvin, the Pyru, who was a witness at the murder when Suge got it. So I the only one that went through me. So anyway, from that process, I had got some money. I went and bought a Benz. I asked Suge, where should I take the Benz? He say, out in Ontario, man, they're fixed. And this is the beginning of how this movie started. While I'm waiting to go, Terry and Rialto, and we sitting talking, he looking over the car, and he say, man, what can we do to help the community? No, I said, and we both said, and he say, well, why don't we make a documentary? I say, make a documentary. He say, yeah, I've been to film school. Nobody knew that.
Wow.
No, no. So I say, let's make it happen. Swab Churchill,
Mm-hmm.
Ice-T knew about it, but this was right before the 25th anniversary or whatever that NYPD or whatever you do.
Right.
But the COVID at the beginning started from that conversation.
Mm.
From that conversation, and this is why you must look at this because the historical value, because this was started 6 years ago and COVID
Yeah.
slowed it up. And from there, we went and had Terry's son, but we had some guys that are very well known in the gang culture. Like I started that had the same story. T. Rogers started the Black Peace Stones. He's in this. So all the Black Peace Stones that never heard him, never seen him, you hear about people talking about him, see his last wishes, and you won't see the same stories where they talking about glorifying killing.
Mm.
You got Barefoot Pookie, my boy, all of them mine, friend, family, four rivals, but we were young. And they all died of natural causes. We made it through. You got Barefoot Pookie. You
Mm-hmm.
got Big U that's
Mm-hmm.
in jail. Now, you got who else is rest in peace? Baba Lou started Pyru, one of the first to ever be Crip of Blood. So you get to hear their voices no more different than your animated Tupac and putting
Mm-hmm.
him on the screen like he alive. That's the same thing this should be because most of us, the OGs, which is opportunity givers,
Mm-hmm.
not original gangsters, what we've been through, we see through our peer view and don't want you to go through.
Right.
And from there, we went down the line where we thought about the victims now, those that were adversely affected where
Yeah.
someone's life was taken. We have their voices, and it's to the authenticity of this movie. You got the real killers and t-shirt markers, you
Right.
got the victims, and you got the suspects. And so all that combined, and actually the name of this movie, because they sabotaged it, the industry. No blacks. We won 53 awards,
Wow.
2 docu-series, but we haven't won one black award because not one black uh, film festival would
Mm.
show. It's a conflict of interest when we show what we do to each other. And the
Right.
Democrats would say more gun control, and the Republicans, when they said to say more gun laws.
Mm.
So they changed the game to put the guns down. That makes it ambiguous for advocate gun owners, and that make those that are in the streets that have to use it for protection, whatever. I'm not putting it down. So the real name of the movie was A World Epidemic,
Mm-hmm.
senseless gun violence. Well, we're not only talking about our people, we're talking about from the elementary school halls to them riding
Mm-hmm.
at the Senate walls. We
Yep.
just heard about the whites. They go in and use automatic on school campuses.
Mm-hmm.
But when that go, they want oversight, building tunnels, getting millions of dollars, getting mental treatment. I even seen a school in Rancho Palos Verde get money to build bunkers for a murder at like Columbine. But the inner
Mm.
city didn't get it done. So I know the inner workings of what's going on. And a lot of times the things that are adversely affect us in our community is not only our economic, but we don't know no better. So we have quite a few messages where we're trying to unify our community. And Terry, a lot of people said he ain't contributed, he ain't never been out there, or he ain't out here, he ain't been a game. That ain't what this about.
Right.
He did contribute because it was his money that put everything together. It was his vision that kept it going 6 or 7 years. He
Mm-hmm.
brought in Ice-T, who's our boy, to give it the face that it needed to where we could have the platform to be heard. So by
Mm-hmm.
him giving the people and others
Right.
their voice to be heard, how is that adding up to where he's not even on the camera and letting us our voices be heard? So
Mm-hmm.
we need to commend him on that. This is a powerful movie. It could affect
Yes.
your child,
Yes.
my child, and we all should rally behind it
Hmm.
and see and look at it. We have a
Yeah.
12-part docu-series. That
Yes.
means we can go to the school, bring back PTA. It's three areas of attack.
Right.
Uh, uh, Parks Recreation, Juvenile Justice System, and the Unified Schools Districts across America. Those are breeding grounds for
Right.
us young youth to where they come together, got nothing to do, nothing to look up to. We have
Mm.
to take a stand as older adults and let them see that this is not the road to go down.
Mhm.
I did 37 years. You only thinking you hurt yourself, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you hurt your mom,
Mm.
you hurt your sister.
Yes.
And all the swear ones that I thought was swear, they living in home. There is no retirement in this. There's always a crown on your head. I've survived numerous assassinations attempts.
Mm.
My friend, family of four. I'm on parole as we speak for 83 years, where I got 3 counts of attempted murder for the police calling me a Negro, but not the Negro, the N word. And I ran them down, just like this clown for to get it when I leave.
Mm.
Very serious about this.
Yeah.
We out here in the streets, you seeing them sit behind couches, talking about jailhouse fights, glorifying
Mm.
this like it's a badge of honor. Ain't nothing fly about this. Tookie died before he was 24 through execution of the state. Raymond Washington got a bullet through his head on the streets. A shotgun. So I've seen it numerous times. I've been with Charles Manson, Sirhan, the Hillside Strangler, the Grim Reaper, the Southside Slayer, Charles Manson, Tex Watson, you name them, I know them, I talk to them. Also, my boy that's on death row that caught the murder that he killed four
Mhm.
people, and he's on. I think of him in a back minute. He was in Jackson State Prison
Mm.
unjustly. He had three hung juries on raping a white woman. To do that in Georgia,
Mm.
that means you're not guilty. And he
Jeez.
turned around, took the gun, killed the judge, killed the bailiff, and killed somebody else. And that's what it is. When you say you're not guilty of something,
Mhm.
you stand on your principle. And I stand on this movie to where I think you could really, this about be about your only thing because it's LA based. It's
Yeah.
where this culture started, Crips and Bloods. They can make their own history now by
Right.
changing this. So you don't have to go out and kill it. Start buying business.
Right.
We got all type of business down here. Continue the tradition of Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, or
Yes.
those that you look up to. But those that are out here telling you and glorifying it, giving you this negativity instead of positivity, keep it out your ears. Nothing but idle gossip and cheap talk.
Mm. That is so true. Wow. It's really interesting how our interview started, Mr. Farmer. With that being said, what message, right, does put the guns down, like you said earlier, send to young people caught in a cycle of violence today and the whole glorification of violence?
Well, like I said, let's go back to the original title. A world epidemic,
Right.
senseless gun violence, but for the record, put the guns down.
Mm-hmm.
How does it affect it? We're not saying, we think we're trying to associate this with mental health
Mm-hmm.
and bring awareness to mental health. Because I've been through the thing of where you had to kill, from the lips or the hips. But as you grow older, the game slow down. And we want them to understand you don't have to go to the last resort in an act of passion and use a weapon. It's not necessary to take somebody's life. It's like the game of life, like you playing chess. It's a gamble. When you come out your house where you had expectations of privacy, all that's over with.
Right.
But you have to remember the dynamics, and this is very important when we talk about this. California is not an open carry state. That means when you come out here into this playing field like just now, You could get in a situation where you wouldn't even know they had a gun because you can't carry them openly as in southern states or open carry states.
Right.
So when we talk about it, they're going to say, when you say put the guns down, those that are in open carry states are
Right.
going to go. But when you come here, when you got to check them in, now you got a problem because they carry guns so frequently here,
Hmm.
likely. But when you get caught, so we're not saying, we're just saying, don't think before you act.
Right.
Think. I was with the think tank with Colin Kaepernick
Hmm.
think rights organization where we was back in New York, and we just want you to really think when you take somebody's life, and not just gang violence. You can do it through any acts of passion
Hmm.
or so forth. Killed by
Yeah.
police. That's why I say friend, family, or foe. And we just want you to see the real true picture and hear the voices of those that have used the weapon
Hmm.
and been convicted, those who have been the victim of those that have used the weapon. And let me give you a good example about murder that you'll talk about it and won't see. I was in court with Lil Durk when he was going, uh, and they were talking about video confession
Hmm.
and young NBA, and that's when he was going for bail that was denied. But what you didn't see in the courtroom is I'm with Lil Durk, Big Durk, Shorty, and all their family, J. Cole, everybody, the lawyer that had did NBA, Beadland. See, I name names from off the
Hmm.
top. I don't read nothing. But I looked across the hall. Let's go back to friends, family, or foe. You got to
Hmm.
treat them equal. And I looked and I seen a black girl. Because in federal court, like Aaron Bonner, I don't
Hmm.
even know who that is, the boxer. He'd say AB.
Uh,
Or whoever it was that they folks had, the other rapper from the Amigos or whatever, his initial.
oh.
But what you didn't see is all the blacks over here
Hmm.
for his family members, Sony Records, Rolling Stone. But I see a million police, undercover federal agents, and everything. But I only see one black girl.
Hmm.
That's the victim of the murder that they own. So you're right in the middle. And I stopped it and I said, I got to quit going to court
Hmm.
because who's interviewing the victim?
Right.
See how one sided that is? And I quit going because it hurt me
Hmm.
because they all black and everybody getting prosecuted all
Hmm.
white. In fact, the people that worked at Metropolitan Detention Center, where all of them at that been on the internet, Big
Yeah.
U, Luke Cannon, Slick Rick,
Hmm. Yeah.
all of them,
Hmm.
Dirt, and so forth, from use of the internet, video confessions,
Yeah.
all of them. But all of them are in there from off the internet. And so I say, who speaks for her? And nobody ever asked her
Mm.
how she feel. And oh, let me tell you what they said. All the workers that worked out know them personally, know what I'm there for because I run errands. They come from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And they all say, why is it the federal government, all the black workers say that, I swear to God, said, why is it the federal government only giving our people indictments?
Wow.
They didn't think it was
Yeah.
fair.
Right.
They still they there every day, and I go there for Big U. I go there for a lot of them.
Hmm.
Go there, I get phone calls. So that's just a little tidbit about it.
Have you ever figured out why that is, or in your theories?
Well, what happens when you're dealing with the alphabet, which most of y'all haven't? That's the FBI, Homeland Security,
Right.
uh, ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearm.
Hmm.
All them, when they investigate, you think it's a joke on the street, but when they monitor this around the clock on the internet,
Hmm.
Bootsy got busted on the internet.
Yeah.
And we called him the same day. We just was seeing where we were on TNZ, where we were in North Carolina. And
Right.
he always there when it made on TNZ. When he got busted, I told him, you're going to get federally indicted because you cannot get caught with a gun.
Hmm.
You cannot get caught with a gun. You cannot. So what
Hmm.
was the question again? I just speech quiet. So
Oh
what was
no,
the question? No, I'm gonna
no,
go to it.
yeah, no. I was just wondering, like behind the scenes and what's really going on and how people are
Oh, so
being
what happens?
impacted.
See, I'm getting old. I get selective amnesia. What happens is this: when you get up under them investigations,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get around it. You'll take it as comedy, but it's their job 1,000% to crack. And that's exactly what happens. They
Mm-hmm.
have a continuous investigation. And so, what they do, since y'all want to take it as a joke, y'all glorifying it where we know when we bust them, they call it a splash. But see, y'all will look at these cats sitting on the couch, but go to that FBI official report, and they
Right.
have names like when I had to look through Big U transcript. Operation Check In, where they had him being monitored. Operation Fleet, that's where he was with Aaron Bonner allegedly, where one of the crap shooters they beat lost 1 million, the other one lost 5 million. One was a retired player, the other one was an active player.
Wow.
No, the one retired lost more money than the one playing. He lost 5 million. So these are the things uh, that go on. They had been trailing Big U for 20 years, they say. But in my mind, because of the penitentiary and he got a murder where he crossed state lines, that's the only way you'll be in federal court. Kill somebody over here, take them over there. My question would be, since everybody's so smart, if you was trailing him and had him mic'd up, why you let him kill him? See how deep this could get?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Watch what you hear. Believe what you see. I'll be in court with him. He just went on the third. And you come tuning in to this news station here with my girl and us and follow along for some real reality TV from the streets to the
Yes.
penitentiary. How about that?
So, what can people just in the general public, right, do for this put not just put the guns down, but just violence in general and helping the youth? We have a lot of 501(c)s out here, nonprofit organizations, just organizations. Period. What can we do to help support this epidemic?
Simple. And I ain't gonna go no further. We can go to the next question. Quit being an enabler and letting your kids do it.
Mm,
I would. That's the first thing. They're enablers. My mama and I don't rob jewelry from ice cream stores
right.
to armored trucks since I've been 14. 50 times I've been arrested for robbery, 60 times total. 50 of them for getting money. Never black on black crime, never no shooting, none of that. So, but one thing my mother didn't do, and I grew up in a two-parent home, but my mama didn't know I was sneaking out that window at 13. See, they parents know that as we go 50 years, where they seen what they did. We kept
Yeah.
everything away from our people. So when I speak, it ain't gonna be the
Right.
same then. Then you're talking about funding,
Right.
uh, intervention and prevention. I deal with all the politicians. That's when your vote come in to get rid of those that are appropriating the money where the money is being misappropriated. If it ain't work, you got to make a change and get somebody in there that know the game. If
Mm,
you still riding the same dead horse down a dark canyon, you're gonna end up right by you. And no city, no state is more politically corrupt than
mm,
the city of Los Angeles. I ain't saying when you go up north, it's progressive.
okay.
They're activists. But
Mm,
we have so many state, county, LAPD, sheriff, Inglewood, this, Inglewood, Hollywood, Grandis, West Side, Compton, Valleys, this, that is hard. And what make a street gang different from an organized gang is the structure. We must create a structure and a chain of command where you
yeah.
get punished for breaking these constitutions. See, now we're talking the street level where the citizens are out of this. This is what the gangs, Crips and Bloods, was do. We had a structure,
Mm-hmm.
chain of command, but we didn't go into this rapping, acting, and got into this game. We
Mm,
came in to protect our community from rival gangs And we didn't gang bang at no 40, 50, 60 years old. Usually when they're doing it at that age, they didn't do it at an early age.
Hmm.
And a lot of times our voices is silenced because one thing about a real Negro, they're going to expose a fake Negro. So they'll silence our voices thinking we inactive when we did after being 18 and you in prison in the state of California. I see them talking about fighting in the county jail. You ever fought the Mexican mafia? I have. You ever fought the Aryan Brotherhood? I have. You ever fought the GDs? I have. You ever fought the Bloods? I have. You ever fought the Hells Angels? I have. You ever fought the Triads? I have. You ever fought any of them?
Hmm.
That's what comes with this in prison because we're the only state that segregate. Nobody can sell you up. Mexicans eat separate.
Mm-hmm.
Latinos eat separate, North South eat separate, blacks eat separate. But when that ride start, we got to come together, and that's why usually those that have really walked that walk and been on them yards, when you come back, you don't want to hurt your blacks because you know every race got an organization that'll kill you, but blacks only kill each other because of the areas they stay in. That's how that goes. Then
Right.
what we can do when that money comes, we have to make sure. Let me tell you how they pay for play. A lot of times you won't get funding based in on the state level because I'm a credible messenger where you get 500,000 or better on a federal level. By the way, that's Trump appointed with Clinton Lacey. But when you're on the lower level, state, local level, 8th district, 9th district, 10th
Mhm.
district, or whatever, you might get 25,000. Then you must be self-sustainable, but you got the same repetition of nepotism, no more difference
Mm.
in the politicians.
Yeah.
When you see them change their last name, where to really be their sister.
Mm.
And so the cycle has to be sent a musical cheers where you get the same results. So when you do that, here's the pay for play. Whatever
Mm.
you got in the people behind you, if they don't vote for me, you don't get no funding.
Mm.
I've known numerous occasions where people have lost funding or got funding based on the principalities of votes. So that's when you hear people talk about money when you're trying to serve the community. You have
Mhm.
planners and you got flyers. I never made a dime off the internet, never worked with intervention, but at the beginning, when 1976, when the first intervention ever with
Mhm.
Rosie Greer called a long table, we went twice a week. $25 each time for 2 hours, $50 a week. That ended in a murder where somebody got killed there. And
Wow.
I'm still here to watch it. So it ain't it. And it's a lot of others like me that survived to tell this story
Mm.
uh, to where you can really see the history. And that's why the 12-part docu-series is important
Okay.
because usually the guys that are still here, they've changed their life. And
Yeah.
a lot of times they 65, 70 on
Mhm.
now. And you got where you still in your community and you got guys shooting in that area and they shoot at you. You're gonna end up killing somebody's son you grew up with or daughter and then kissing their family member at their funeral. So
Mm.
that puts us in a very dangerous situation here in Los
Mhm.
Angeles where your face inside your ID and your pistol is your passport. So
Mhm.
people need to understand what it is to live the life. And one
Mhm.
thing about an OG,
Yeah.
not an opportunity giver, we talk about one that's original Crip from the beginning. The one constant that I heard every week from the day Michael Concepcion, Kendrick Lamar, Uncle that on TEE, killed Mayor Inglewood, Mayor Butt's son, brother,
Mhm.
Douglas Green, where I gave him a pass at 15. Hey, you got the wrong side of the street, young man. This LA, y'all across the street in Inglewood. I can get you a pass because at this time it's Soul Train, gang banging, and pop locking. You might have to go down that Soul Train line, but they won't kill you. 4 of them was there. I went and talked to Tookie, everybody. I
Mhm.
said, give them a pass, man. Remember I told you I'm playing basketball. I'm playing at the best of the best in Inglewood. 3 of them left. He went back. He got killed. But now I see the mayor of Inglewood got Snoop Dogg and all these Crips. But I was 15 when you came to my cell a couple of weeks later after I got caught with a gun for shooting at Inglewood High. And you asked me, Melvin, who killed my brother? I didn't even know it was his brother.
Mm.
And when I seen him 50 years later after his distinguished career from cadet, where he asked 15-year-old Melvin crying, what happened? So don't get it twisted about how we come into the game. And I told him then, you know what happened. But I seen him 50 years later after he had Snoop, Dr. Gray, Trip walking. I say, why would you have him up there? And you know, I changed my life. And I said, don't you remember me the first time we seen after that? I said, you remember me, big man, 6'4", 280, and he looking down at me. And I said, you remember me? And his eyes dropped solemn. I say, man, Farmer. And he did.
Wow.
So, and don't let me talk about Valerie Briscoe Hooks, the Olympic track star, where my friend Howard Morrison killed her when I was 16. Hold on. I'm going to get it right. So if I want to tell these stories, hold on. Hold on. We're going to tell a few stories and we're going to continue.
Okay.
Can you see me?
No.
Can you see me?
I can hear you.
Hold on.
Oh, there you go.
See me?
Yes, sir.
These are why I like telling the stories and we don't. That's at 15. And by the way, the next day, a young man got killed on 84th where we had another murder. And Pam Todd, Jackie Todd was there, Spanky was there. And when I name these names, they know who they are. In fact, we ain't even gangster Crips. We're still West Side Crips. June 12th, 1972. And before that, Robert Ballou got killed March, where I was there, the first murder that let the nation know, the city of LA. There's a new gang in town called the Crips. Then Valerie Briscoe Hooks, we up at Lockhart, Front Street, Back Street, Cute 102. We over there, and my friend Howard Morrison. We in a gunfight. And he killed Valerie Briscoe Hooks' brother, turned himself in. They didn't have no laws for a ninth grader killing somebody. We stayed in juvenile hall. I got out for another gun case. And he said, man, I'm getting out. I walked over there and he stayed in jail a year. They let him go because they didn't know what to do with him, even though he confessed. And they let him out 1 year to that day. And they killed him right on that front porch the same day. So when I walked over there, he was there. And I can tell millions of these if I wanted to. Not only that, drug dealing, everything. So I deal in murder. That's how we came in, protecting ourselves. But we knew the assignment. So don't get it wrong about us killing. You never hear none of us people saying, oh, Melvin did this. That was part of the game. And then you'll cry when you get killed. These rappers, actors, entertainers. But what about the people? I just seen a man argue with his wife for 30 years downtown, shot up 4 times. I seen a man get shot. Oh, we don't have 55 murders here in LA. Who speak for them? Oh, that's right. Y'all more enthused with a rapper getting killed, where they killing each other, emulating shit, rapping about shit they not living. And you think that's real life? I'm not going up against it. So what we do, we just do what we did, where silence is violence, and just do what we can to get back to the community. But don't think you scaring anybody on these streets of LA with that rah-rah shit. That ain't happening.
Right.
Let's get that right about us in LA. And in fact, after the 100 days and 100 nights, the most despicable display of violence and disregard for looming lights, where Karen Bass, Marquise Harris Dawson called me in. I ain't an intervention worker. I ain't on the clock. But they called me in to intervene. Me and T. Rogers. No, they called me and I had my boy Took. He got 5 years now after this. Rest is gone. I got you on. And they say, Melvin, we'll get you 500,000 if you help us intervene and stop this because they were dropping like five. This when everybody a gang had declared they gonna kill a gangster Crip and Uber Crip and whoever associated with us every night for 100 days, and it went on every day where everybody was. And so that was 2015, and they threw me in there. Then when they get the money and I help calm it down, they say my record too violent. We can't give it to you, you and your friend, and they give it to somebody else. See, that's how they play the politics. And a lot of times they'll create the illusion of inclusion, and you're really just a picture. That's why this movie is important. It is where you can do it on your own terms. We're just creating an opportunity where you can use this film to educate and eradicate senseless gun violence, whether you're black, red, or blue. And also, this movie has a lot of browns, Latinos, where they've been in training days, Vince Romo. It ain't just black. We got a multitude. And let me tell you how important it is to have the brown on your side, or else there's no need to put your weapons down. Because of the racial divide here in these streets, where they got a green light to kill us and every other race, what are they to do? See how you put in the concrete? So now you see the importance of this and why the name of this movie must be explained about put the guns down, because anybody in the streets, particularly in LA, hey, so that go back to intervention. And that's one of the most deadliest jobs. Nobody in no state, when it comes to intervention, get killed more than those here. They kill at funerals. They party at funerals. They make it look like a sarah. In fact, people with money can get a free funeral if Magic Johnson get. Oh no, I'm gonna just say when you got money or a celebrity, you can be buried at the big five. But when somebody in the streets get killed, it take them 3 or 4 months, 17,000 or 500 to buy. And that's why if you think they can't come in there on their backs, why you think that people don't come in there on their feet from the streets? That's one of the problems. And I'm dealing with LA. I'm not talking about universal, because when I go another place, you might have to dictate, like when I go to Chicago and walk down O Block like I'm walking here. They're going to tell you what's going on in Chicago, and we're going to see what's happening. This is as real as you're going to get. And the authenticity of not only this movie, but the movement that has already begun. And we're going to let the intervention workers, let their voices be heard. But let me tell you, the intervention workers, the Skip Townsends, the twins, all the homies that work from the gangster car to the neighborhood car to the they just do all kind of stuff that you won't see the other guys that are really putting it in the work. Let me tell you about a murder that happened, since we want to talk about murder and talk about intervention workers. And I ain't gonna say the name, but one day we had Dale Dog funeral. That's who was with Shaq when Connie, that's what about the sex scandal with him and WAC 100. We represent the West Side on the East Side, and one gang come mocking them 100,000 youth, and everybody loading up. And then by the time they went to from the funeral and made it to put him in the ground, I get a call from their dog brother. They just killed such and such. Bingo, just like that. An intervention worker. Then they killed another one. Oh, if you talk about, in fact, I'm gonna let them tell their stories, because their stories need to be heard also. So the 12-part documentary is really gonna be a continuation where we're gonna just work together and drive together where we get across the finish line. We made the movie. Now it's up to you guys to take the time, and we're turning the ball over to you. We did what we can do. Now, do what you can do. Bring awareness. Go to the schools, flip the script, juvenile hall. And then if you stop the violence, let me tell you what else can happen. If you just pull back and relax. That means you can talk about, why are these youth getting tried as adults now when they're not killing each other? Why do we need a 10-20 gun law when they're not using them on each other? Why are they getting 10-year enhancements for a tattoo that I got, say, Crip? And they get it for saying the same thing. Oh, how do you distinguish I'm active or inactive and he active and not? Yeah, How that's not right. So we also gonna attack the criminal justice system and make it restore the justice where the crime is comparable to the crime. And let me tell you another thing y'all do that hurt men. I had a friend just the other day, caught a murder in 75, shooting at me and some others, and killed the wrong man. Went in there, 7 up. That's when you do 7 years and you out, do 10 or 12 and you're out. Not like it is now, because y'all get punished for the rest of your life. But due Juneteenth, the police had gave this during the George Jackson Soledad area when they had cemeteries in the penitentiary back then. And still not no more because they PCs. But anyway, we was having Juneteenth. That's when everybody supposed to be no go. And a riot started where the police gave all the Mexican mafia, the white boys, and everybody to beat up where they killed some blacks. They stayed on lockdown 6 months. That happened August 18th, Juneteenth, or whatever. That's the day. They got off December. In fact, Ruth Russian mother, Patrice Russian mother, Ruth Russian was the head of the CDC. I bet you didn't know that. Don't forget me not. That was head of CDC. We having it our way. But they don't kill 2 blacks. We got to come back. My man, and he risked, and he lost it. He killed 2 people where they killed 4 or 5 whites. All of them got found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. He never got out. He only was 1875. Rest, I ain't gonna say his name. Shout out to my partner that died and did 50 years and never made it back home. He just died from a brain aneurysm. So that is the story about that young man. So we want to talk about the juvenile justice system because they're getting tried as adults.
Right.
But if you stop, it's no need to try these youths as adults, because what happens actually when you drop the age where they cannot be tried as an adult, it actually have a reverse effect to where they start killing earlier. See, that's all it does is make the 14, 15-year-old bring it on down. We don't went from the cycle here and it goes down. So if you think these gun laws and stuff work, they don't affect no criminal. What law does a criminal obey? So when you're really making these laws that you think really adverse in these communities, and another thing blacks need to do is quit spending with other races. You're letting them take the money out to community, which you already misusing and abusing. Hey, when you buy a goddamn taco, that's going to turn into a peso. When you buy some pizza, that's going to turn into a lira. When you buy some Chinese food, which y'all slop all day from top ramens and soup, that money don't come back. The money don't come back. It don't come back. And that affects you because where's the other roots coming back? And during the summer, after you don't chase the dream of your son being a basketball player, rapper, actor, you know what y'all, that little nigga gonna be a rapper. Why you can't say that little girl gonna be an astronaut? That little girl gonna be a teacher. Quit calling them little nigga. And quit using that shit all over the internet. Game goofy ass shit. That's what I'm gonna attack. The misuse of the internet, these podcasts, because they need to be regulated. We got a man that's a superstar. I'm gonna make a public service announcement because I'm a civil rights activist and I protect kids and we out to win. We got this is gonna be a big one.
Oh yeah.
We got a young man named Charleston White. Everybody know who he is. One always talking about blacks and raping whites and said fuck Coretta Scott King. But come to find out he's a pedophile and he raped a 10-year-old girl and he's around with Young Thug. I need him where he need to answer. Did he rape a girl in November 19th? I got the paperwork. America and the hip hop world, Charleston White raped Shalonda Price in Dallas, Texas after he got out where he snitched on somebody where they been, and y'all done made him up and gave him millions. Asked him, did he rob or rape Shalonda Price? And this go to 50 Cent, who you was hugged up with, Mayweather, Shadur Sanders with your buster ass, Kanye West with your pedophile loving. I'ma say on record, Charleston White, y'all hero, ain't asked him. And then to make it off, because that's what she say, look at the transcript. I'm going to Memphis after I come from Chicago, where he was inappropriate with some children and got put off the campus. Oh yeah. Now, we gonna get it. Now that go to 50 Cent and any rapper, actor, any show that been, see, they blackball me because I'm the truth. I'm the hottest shit not on the internet. Because I'm an activist. I don't want no money. I want to help my community, which I help destroy. But if you ain't never tore it up, I can see why you ain't got no vested interest in it. But for the blood and the money off another person's blood. So all of America, tell Charleston White to step up and step to the mic, or else he got to go. He's an unregistered child pedophile. That happened November 19th when she filed a protective order with his DNA confirmed. She was 11, he was 21. So that's 98. He got a case where I've been on him since 92. No, 2023, where he went and said, I'm not messing with children no more. And what better cover to have than starting off, because I managed him, brought him in the game, than to say, I protect the children. And he had a child organization, and I'm on several boards where he would not pass it. But I bet you he won't answer that question. Did he rape that girl? And if he did, his ass. In fact, I'm going to create a bill. If he did, I already know what he did, but I'm going to get the official paperwork. Well, I'm going to create it where you want your name known. Charleston White anti-pedophile bill, where every one of these podcasts is done in person, where a child might be. You're going to sign a piece of paper that say, I have never been arrested, convicted, or suspected of raping a child. That's the first thing need to be done. Because I'm coming. And then YouTube and everybody bar me for telling everybody he's a rapist, where he don't say it on his internet. I rape young white boys and girls. And every black woman need a rapist. But he thought y'all gang goofy asses when he said white. I rape little white women and boys. But I said, what if he'd have said black? I've been on it. Got a pedophile in Georgia. Straighten it out. Now, let's continue on. That's a public service committee.
Let's continue on. Very educational.
No, that's very serious, because what happens is a pedophile, if he did it in 98 and still doing it now, and he used the disguise of a daycare center, there's victims all over. And I'm going to bring them out. And I'm not the only one. I got a lawyer that's going to have to say it. We got the principal that covered it up. See, this is going, and the school all happen to be with Oprah Winfrey, where all of a sudden everywhere Oprah Winfrey got something to go with the school, there's pedophile or child molestation. So stay tuned in the corner. Let's get it.
Yes. Wow.
Oh.
So, go ahead. You were going to say something? Wow, that's very enlightening, and especially when we're dealing with the children, with the youth. I mean, this is just a ball of wax, Mr. Farmer. It's just a ball of wax that we're talking about, and the thing about is,
I'll be all right. We freestyling today, but that's a very important public service announcement, because I don't have 10, 15 million views, where that's my job. By working with credible messengers, we're on several boards where we track pedophiles down. Like we got Gloves Up, Guns Down with my man Maniac Disciple, work with the mayors and everything. Where we working and everything in Florida. We got Goddess in Chicago. We got Jeff Ford, Larry Hook. We got a lot of things that deal with youth if you're trying to help them.
Yes.
And he started off dealing with you. So it's very important that I go rookie, because he not only didn't pass a test where we'd say, no, he had a record, he won't admit he did it. So he's deceiving you, but he can't trick me. So it's very important, because this is a heavy hitter. Google it. He's a pedophile, and Melvin Farmer has cracked him. Let's go on.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that all the children's daycares and institutions are aware of this information, but without it being on record, It's
No, no,
kind of.
no, no, no. You're missing it. I said she filed a protective order. It was his cousin, to
Mhm.
where they family, she couldn't make a decision and they covered it
Right.
up. That's what happened. And the girl, 30 something, and her 40 something, heard him bragging about everybody, cousin, don't rape the cousin. And
Mm.
in fact, they thinking he playing. He raped his cousin and she came out. That's why I got the date November 19th. But
Mm.
because it's a family civil matter, you
Gotcha.
can't get it. But when I open this case where it's active, where he's going to jail,
Mm.
then I will have my own paperwork, because that's the one where he tried to get away, that I
Mm.
busted him, and I will have the paperwork and a protective order, which will open the door for discovery motions to see what other things he
Right.
has. So that's how that's going. It's official. So you
Mm.
can show this and have him set up. He's already under investigation
Oh, okay. Okay.
for the record. So let's go.
If you could get one group of people, right, the lawmakers, youth, parents, educators, to watch the film, who would it be, and what would you want them to take away?
Who would I want to watch the film, and what would I want them to take away?
Yeah.
I would everybody that watch all the blacks, just the blacks, that be telling their stories and glorify murders, rappers, actors, entertainers, and athletes.
Hmm.
That's who I want to watch it. And the public and the schools, to take them to the schools and see. And then I want you to say what you take away. So there's so many dynamics.
Yeah.
The victim, the suspect that might have killed in self-defense, the criminal justice system, the mental health. It's so many things that I couldn't give you one specific, but I bet you'll ask everybody. It's a tremendous film. We won 53 awards
Hmm.
from Cannes. We won the Prince of England. We won everywhere, but blacks have not put it for them to see it.
I think that every podcaster, every media should be aware of this film and documentary, and even show it on their podcast, on their platform. I think that this should be a challenge. You know, everybody has these different challenges out here. Why can't we just develop a challenge to everyone listening right now, and watch the film, broadcast it, because our voice is very powerful. And that's what I wanted to ask you, Mr. Farmers, for all the artists, for everybody, our actors, everybody that's in the media right now that has a strong voice, right? How would you, what would you tell them as far as like changing the narrative, being more conscious, being more aware, broadcasting situational awareness, right? To have more of a positive environment. Like, what type of guidance would you tell everyone right now to do? Because this is a hot mess. I mean, for lack
Well,
of a
it's
better
a
word.
hot mess and it can't be stopped until we control our own music. You have to, like they changed the name of this. You got to pay to play. That's what's hot, and it's really nothing but black exploitation that started with the same concept, the same formula: drugs, sex, murder, rock and roll, and pimping and hoeing is the best thing going. You got to remember the black, and a lot of them don't remember or too young. This is a young culture. I'm 65, 68, whatever, but I'm out here in the streets every day doing what they doing, fighting, shooting. I'm out. That's the life. That's where I'm at. And that's the life I get from doing what I did. So I'm getting what I gave out. But what we got to do is change the narrative, what we're saying in our rap. I was with Grand Jury Records when we made We All in the Same Gang that discussed this. So with me, it's old news to where y'all got to catch up with us. I was with a member of Grand Jury Records where we made We All in the Same Game, where we had Young MC, Dr. Dre, who wasn't even known, making the beats. We had Above the Law, we had MC Hammer, we had a Young Ice T, we had Michelet, we had the West Coast All Star, we had what was his name, Humpty. It was a cast of characters, and we were talking about the same. theme now as what they doing back then. And also they had nothing but self-destruction. That was the West Coast response to what I'm doing. So I would tell hip hop, but what happens in hip hop is most people on the streets don't look at them or respect hip hop. Hip hop ain't nothing but just that. Hip hop, they cannot control the streets. The streets have to be able to speak, and they need to quit perpetrating, giving out false propaganda that you're not really living. But I tell you what they do, they help fuel the lower branches by bringing up people that are playing both sides of the fence. That means gang banging and pop locking, but playing like they for the people, but steady filtering that money to the game. And that makes the playing field unfair in these streets when it comes to violence, say in LA. Because one gang getting the upper hand on the other one where they ain't got $5 to do a drive-by, and they doing drive-bys in a Rolls Royce. So it's a mess. I ain't gonna tell them what to do, but I know if you look into hip-hop, rappers, actors, and entertainers, where they rob them for practice here, they rob them for practice here. You hear them getting killed around here. They trying to make it where they tough. Every city's got killers. Every city's tough. Every city, but it go back to in this city to where you can't have security like you can where you go into a club with guns. You can't do that here. That's why you see all these gangs. I don't care if you're in another state, they always claiming some affiliation with LA. So when they bring their asses here, they can be with somebody that know the terrain. And that go back to the checking in shit they worrying about. Now, if I come to say I go to Chicago. When I go to Chicago, I'm gonna meet Fred Hampton. I'm gonna be with Shody Dope, which is Dirt uncle, and I'm gonna be with Big Dirt. I'm gonna be with Curly B. I'm gonna be with my son, they Rukin. I'm gonna be with Vice Lords. But if you want to call that checking in, I call it I'm just going with my friends that know the terrain, and they're gonna protect me to make sure I get back. That's with anywhere. If you come here with me, so many entertainers come around me, Blood, Crip, Brown, Black, and check in, not check in, but I'm a humble guy. Charleston White came. They would fit to kill Charleston White where he called me. Hey man, these Denver lanes fit to kill me. I say, put him on the phone. I say, hey man, such and such owe me a favor where I stopped him from getting killed. Call your boy. I'm calling in my marker and don't kill him. And Charleston White told y'all this. So what the hell you think a rapper gonna tell somebody in LA to do? Nothing. What you think we gonna tell somebody in Chicago to do? Nothing. What do you think Chicago gonna tell somebody to do in New York? Nothing. They got to work their own shit out. That is not for us to worry about. We need to be focused on LA. And then work to bring our people up, and whoever first to show an example that it works, then everybody. Why don't you do that challenge? Let's see which city can stop and decrease their violence and come back next year. Let's do that. And then everybody use this video where you not only have to look at it, you can store it, say, in the schools. Well, all you got to do is go to Amazon, $4.50. Go to your arts or whatever, performing arts. Let them put the program together and get people from your city that's been victim of the same thing. Have you a panel or bring one of us in, and all you do is set it up because Amazon, Google has no commercial. The other four, we streaming on Amazon, Google. We're now on Peacock. We're on Prime Video, and we're also on Apple TV. And that's a simple way to get the message out, because the revolution won't be broadcast. How are you gonna have hip hop guys where all they doing is telling, being with guys that's holding their ground? Right. So that myth about rappers, actors, yeah, they entertain, and that's fine. But when it comes to saving your child, you better talk to the guys that are closest to the problem, men, women, and children, whether it be gun violence, mental health, and those that are in the community. They're not coming to your community to help do shit. In fact, they don't even buy nothing there because they know you're not a consumer of no products. You'll go spend your money and be broke to put some good leather on your feet talking about I got a 500 pair of white man shoes. I just told you Coretta Scott had on Why Try More when you can pay for less.
Mm.
And y'all think that's falling. And then you don't probably stole the money to get it. You didn't earn it because you damn sure wouldn't be spending it like that. That's why your ass go back and kill other ones and come back. Y'all do shit to go try to impress people. Because I damn sure don't see why you killing somebody unless they threaten you. And that's where we part the line.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong when somebody say they don't kill you and you kill them. That's a fair bet.
So,
Fair bet. But other than that, you have no reason. And that's why you can't get away. There's no self-defense law. See, this education on what could happen if you get in
right.
trouble, if you ain't did it, if you get caught. There's no self-defense law in Los Angeles. So that means I don't care how you kill them. There's uh, 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 manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter, first degree, second degree, life without parole, death penalty. You don't want no letter for your sentence. That means you getting out life without parole. That's what Eric and Lyle Menendez, my friends, where y'all
Mm-hmm.
seen all around the world. I was in the county jail. We used to talk, and then we was in prison. But they started off in another thing about the death penalty. They killed their mother for financial gain. That's up under special circumstances. But because they killed a white, they don't get the death penalty. Only time a white man get the death penalty, they killed a white. That's why he got the death in one
Mm.
time. But what I'm
Mm.
saying is, he didn't get it when he was eligible, but Tookie got the death penalty. A whole lot of my friends, the Death Row 10, were getting the death penalty in Chicago, where they were getting, I know, 40, 50 people on death row.
Yeah.
So I'm going to attack, once again, the criminal justice system as well as the justice system, because if you commit a crime, they got categories,
Yeah.
and you're eligible to get the death penalty. How do you distinguish a white man don't get it, but execute a black man?
Mm.
And so therefore, that's how they go when it comes to that and with that criminal justice system. And so what you do is you use this video and you sit down and you have your panel
Mm-hmm.
and you discuss it and you organize these three areas that you must go to: parks and recreations, the unified school district, and the juvenile justice. Why? Every inner city in America where it's gang inhabited, infested,
Mm-hmm.
they hang out at the park. How you gonna gang bang in that?
Yeah. That's true.
When you leave to go to school and you got to stay on that campus, you gang bang at school. When you go to juvenile hall, where you a captain, you bang. So why not while you got them at the parks, show that at the park. And the parks that don't get along, you heard I got shot at on a basketball court. And by the
Mm-hmm.
way, I know who shot at me. And we still buddies, and he don't even know I did it. And in fact, he was a Van Ness boy, and his girl is from his daughter is from a Trey Gangsta now. That ought to give you a clue, boy. You know I know it's you, and that's my pop. And that's another thing. We were friends. A lot of
Mm.
times we give each other breaks, like one man say, Melvin, since I started on the internet, Melvin, he inboxed. I want to thank you, man. I said, thank me for what? And he a rival gang member. He said, I remember one day y'all caught me on the western side of the Western Surplus. That's Gangsta Crip. In fact, that's where all the guns used to come out when Angela Davis, the Black Panthers, all that was used. That's where the weapons. Hi, Angela. She know me since I've been 13. And so anyway, he said, man, I don't know if you remember this, but I want to thank you. I said, thank you for what? He said, Rayford and Hunter, both of them convicted murderers by 18 and convicted murderers again by 21. He said they had me on the ground on the side of the Western Surplus, and you walk by sniffing glue, and you seen him with a shotgun to my ear. You knew, and you say, hey, let him go. And he said, I just want to thank you for that. He said, because I didn't like you. But after that, I got to respect. And if you hear this story, he'll tell you. It's a lot of them I don't have. I just told you at 15, the mayor's son got killed because he went back. So some
Wow.
people have the weight to carry and do it themselves or with their mouth where they can do it. A rapper can't come tell no person to do that. He can sit and glorify what they're doing, but he's actually not doing it. And
Mhm.
then they go and they got their little circle where they kill each other over dick and pussy,
Mhm.
sex, drugs, rock and roll, and then make the public think that's something. Ain't no white boy doing that. Ain't no Mexicans doing that. Ain't no other race doing that. In fact, ain't no other race looking at y'all. You reach your ceiling. All that raping, you'll never go on NBC. You'll never go on ABC. You reach your podcast. And in a minute, when I get through, I promise you, it's going to be a new thing, all behind Charleston and his ability to fool millions of people and didn't tell nobody. And I told them 2 years ago he was a pet. And that's just how it goes. That's when you give him back. And a girl got on the internet and said he raped her. And not one person cared about that girl.
Wow.
How in the hell is that? And he went and cut it and complained to YouTube, so they took it down. See, that's what he did.
Mm.
She had a right to say that. And I'm going to get this pedophile because she attacked another black girl or boy in Memphis. And when I go there, I'm going to have a press conference. And you heard it here first. And Kanye West, you brought him out. And he even said prior, I raped Kanye West and rape and kill his kids, fuck his wife in the ass and kill Kanye. And he go and didn't know it and put him up. Oh no, he say he a rape uh 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 Coretta Scott King. Fuck Martin Luther King, and you go to speak at a school in Memphis, and then the principal Phillips at Sherwood Elementary covered it up, and then gonna tell me he wasn't there. So we're going when I come from Chicago, you catch me, and we catching him, and until he say he did or didn't because she said it, and I'm following up. But the one I'm talking about,
Mhm.
he definitely did something 20 something years later, and he took it down. Everybody, if you want to take something down, take down all Charleston White videos until he responds to did he rape that girl at 11 and tell particularly what happened. I got the video with me. What happened at that school where you tried to lure a child into a bathroom? Adults rape adults. Rapers rape adults. Pedophile rape children. You can't help it. I just seen a man that stood by me because I'm down here on parole. I told you I got 83 years for 3 counts of attempted murder. So I have to be up under supervision because it happened in Georgia where I did 5 years there. But if I don't stay up under some type of housing that got parole, I
Mhm.
have to go to Georgia. Then I wouldn't see my mother. I can't even stay with her because it's too much conditions
Mhm.
to put
Mhm.
her through what the hell they put me through. And uh, he went there, and then they put him off, and he cut the camera, but he couldn't help it. See, a pedophile can't help
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. See, first he said, started off, Charleston White, I protect children. And he had a 5013C, but he never had no money. It was a paper organization. What better cover for a
Mm.
pedophile than to have you leave your child in his hands? Then, when he went to this school, they put him out where he inappropriately touched somebody. And that's when I knew this before this
Mm.
happened, this career. Then he went back to Dallas to
Mhm.
where he went to a school where police got
fired in his hometown for being around him. That told me he knew not to be around him at that school because something don't happen where they know he did something. Come to find out, Dallas had to know because the order was in Tarrant County. So then now the police don't got fired, but nobody asks. How do a 20-year veteran get fired and doesn't go back to the most powerful union damn near in the United States and file a complaint? He did. That means something wrong with who he was standing with, because he got the right to stand with somebody on his off time. So that tell you there was a directive to police stay away. All of a sudden, he couldn't go around children ever no more, because now they on tour. That's when he starts saying, fuck the children of Dallas. I'm not messing with no more kids. And he lied and said they wouldn't give me no money. All the time he had been where he knew it. So then he went and then he cut the video where they took him off. And then he couldn't help it but say, and I don't watch it. God just put little clips where they come across. I don't watch the internet and nobody at all. Nobody. I don't need it. I know all the players from WAC 100, any rapper, actor, Joey Badass, Fabio Foreign. They're gang affiliated. Really gang affiliated. To where they've done what they did. But now they say, Fabio, I don't know now. Kind of gotta love what you do. They say New York, you gotta clean this shit up. So, and by the way, when Pop Smoke got killed, see, this is intervention that you don't see. When Pop Smoke got killed, I'm in New York because now it's a little rip between LA and New York. I'm there intervening back door. 6ix9ine come out here with the Trey gangsters when he got beat up at the airport, and then he get indicted. But when his baby mama go on Vlad TV after his indictment, she called me, Melvin, what should I do? No, she said, Unc, pleasure to meet you, because Joey Badass cousin is a professional bodyguard. So he over there and put her on the phone, and we FaceTime, light-skinned girl. And hey, mama. And she said, Melvin, everybody talking about me in 6ix9ine. What should I do? I said, you ain't got this. This right after she went on Vlad TV, and you see she never smoked again because she listened. I say, all you got to do, let's look at it. You got a baby by it. You set for life. You ain't got to say a goddamn thing. And they ain't going to even remember you tomorrow and never say nothing again. You don't hear. She don't have to. She don't have to. And that's the same. You don't have to be in this limelight. You don't have to go out and break the law. You know, I didn't get my first job till I was 65, where my mama said, broke my heart, made me cry. She said, you know, son, I just want you to get a job so I can tell my friends for the first time in history, my son is going to work. She never said that. But that's how I got the job with Don Skarowski, the dude who killed Biggie Small. Then after that was over with, I went, because a lot of times men like me with 60 arrests, and this the criteria to be OG from my area, must have 30 arrests or better by the age 18, must be convicted of a murder by the age 18, or if you still living, must have did 25 years or better. Every one of my friends might have all three of them where they've done together, but they certainly have one. That's the criteria in our era, because we didn't have it. You're only getting 2 years for a murder. There's no such thing as carjacking. There's no such thing as gang enhancement. There's no such thing as a juvenile fitness here. There's no such thing as a rehabilitation. They changed the game to incorrigibles. And then they started seeing, hey, these ain't the older guys taking them 18, 19. Because if you look at anybody in 1972 after that, when the killing started, nobody after 18 ever went back to prison. Very few, because you couldn't have survived. If they 18, we 14. I had 40 arrests by 18. So they 18 starting, when we starting off at 0 arrests, that show you the violence we associate. We went from that till we gradually went to drug dealing. We ain't just my era. We don't went from gangbanging, now we're selling drugs. I don't sell drugs. I had a chain that said death to the high road. I don't sell drugs. I don't do burglaries. I'm a jack. I believe that anybody that's why a jacker will never be a hater. I hear people all on the internet. Oh, when they say something right about a nigga lying. Oh, you hating on him, you hating. Let me tell you about Melvin Farmer and the robbers. If you think a robber hating because you get money, when he waiting, if you on his list to take it, he hoping you get it. Because that's nice. Drug deal. You'll know when I'm selling dope, because I don't went and rob them like when I robbed somebody for 40 keys in 1989. Through Easy E mother, who set it up, that hit me through Baldy. So I can tell a gang of stories all day. True stories about when I robbed somebody for 40 kilos. Me and my man Dano, they shot him 5 times and they hit, later on burnt him in the throat. You can Google that. But this was right. In fact, my mama thinks this is the one that got killed, but it's not, because he already had been shot in Detroit with a Uzi. Because we going around, when we come to your town. And anyway, I get a call from my man. He said, "Hey, I got a lick up. What's up? Mike can play him for some dope." I said, "Okay." We go meet him. And when Baldy realized I'm in gang, because they know we jackers, they know it's getting serious. We go tell them people, "Hey man, I don't want to have nothing, even though I'm introducing y'all to them, I want to have nothing to do with it." They could have came back and killed us. Because you can say, "Why you not don't want to do nothing? Are they robbing us? We don't know them, these your people, and you don't want to be there." This what he don't went and sneaked and told, because he know we gonna do it. So they tell us, this how I know. So we stand and see, you never know where money at. We can see it. We standing at a tire shop. Don't even look like they're selling tires. But they selling. And so then they sit. And my man, because I don't know about cocaine, he said, "Melvin, you just act right through the right end." And so then he don't went and told them this. And they say, "Why your friends say no do business with you?" My man talked him out of it. We thought it was over with. And all of a sudden we get a call. "Hey, they want to do business. We home." We go back. He said they're going to take you to see some dope. When you see it, I don't even know how, with cocaine. I'm just out, 89.90. He said, "I'm going to give you this knife. When you see them kilos, just take a snort and say, are they all hard? Don't say nothing. They're going to try to question you, because they thinking we from St. Louis. But goddamn me, we right where we need to be. And it's another race. See, never hit your own race, because you can run back here. But when you hit them that really got it, they'll let it go, because you never see it." So they took me on 92nd and Hoover, thinking I know where I was at, Sunnyside Apartments. I grew up next door, 634 West 92nd. But now I'm on a return flight where they show me a couple of kids. We come back, wait a few days, and my band say, "We on." Now, I don't want to have my baby mama buy me a 25 Pink Pearl pistol, because I got to go in there, this during the MC Hammer era, and I got to wear them baggy pants where I can drop that pistol all the way down so you don't see it, and tuck my shirt in so you don't. And so anyway, hold up. Hold up, my phone go dead. It must got a timer on it. But I don't forget real shit. Hold on, we coming back. So anyway, true story. I end up with about $500,000, $700,000, and then they come set me up and take it all. That's that forfeiture. So anyway, now we don't see the dope, but that only was a couple keys. Now it's time for the play. I don't want to have my wife go to that goddamn pawn shop on Jefferson and Second Ave, buy me a 25 pistol where I can put it in my pocket so I wear these hammer pants that look like ham pants. I tuck this shirt in. So when I draw them, see, what's going to happen is this is when the big boys play. They're going to want to see their money. That means my partner going to have to give them some money that we don't have. And it's up to me to take all this dope against I don't know how many motherfuckers there. See, it ain't no coming in. It ain't but two things happening. You're going to get it or you're going to get killed. I'm still here. And they split us up. But they don't win and block the alley where it was a T-shape going that way, where they don't put trash in it, where nobody could come. And they had an old jalopy with about 7 Mexicans around it, didn't speak English. So I'm pointing. He gone where he got a briefcase where we don't cut. The best thing you can do to make a briefcase feel like money is cut a yellow pages. That paper you can't buy. That's what they make money out of. That's the same way. So you cut that, every bill weigh a gram, you weigh a bean. He ain't got no money, but he got a Glock on him. So see, this guns up, guns down shit, we play with him. I play with him. And so now, I see the dope. He gone that way. You can't fudge because he ain't got no money. We ain't got no money to pay for no 40 kids. And so now, they open the door. I'm looking, checking it out. I see a key here. I see a key there. But where the rest of them? Oh, they don't build a hidden compartment when they pull up the hood. There they go. Showtime. I say, well, put some of them over here, but they don't speak. But I'm pointing. And I seen them keys in that car, and I jumped in, pulled that 25. They tried to pull that distributor. Boom. Back up. My partner came from around that corner with that Glock. Boom, I ducked, went back. This when we had pages, no phones. Slammed that trunk. I say, meet over Rayford House. I went over there and say, in the morning, I'm buying every car I want. Gave everybody dope. And in 2 days, I had a Benz, Cadillac, Cherokee, Jeep, condominium, everything else. And we done that numerous times. That's what I mean about we don't care who you are. We rob banks. I'm a jacker. I went to jail for a jewelry store robbery. We don't did home invasions, but we never do it to blacks. I've never been to jail with a take gangster, and we all started together. I got 40 arrests. But we don't do the same thing. See, they bona fide gang bangers. That's another thing. Don't get a gang member where their ass is just sympathizers, really. I understand it, but I ain't participating. Right. Those are gang members. What we need is the ones that actually pulling that trigger. Because if you ain't pulling the trigger, why you got to put the gun down? You ain't picking it up. So you better focus on the ones that's making this shit happen and give them their respect. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to turn the mic into a spike tonight. How about that?
Oh my goodness. So that's just a show. So the gangbang is just like for show, basically.
Man, you know it's for show. This is how you can tell. Niggas got more graduation pictures than mugshots. This nigga a student. I mean, goddamn. You done been arrested twice for attempted curfew where you jumped out the window almost at 9:59, got caught at 10:05, and you a tough guy. That don't work, man. These cats killed me with this shit, man. They went to technical school, they went to art school, they went to all kinds of shit. You don't have a PhD, a player hustler degree from these streets. They don't. How in the hell a nigga sitting in a booth every day reading a book talk about I joined the gang after reading Monster Cody's book? Nigga, you might as well be crip walking off country and western. Gang goofy asses. I'm telling you, man, they killing me with this shit.
So the OG, so the OGs, right, need to come in and give them a proper introductory on the
No, they don't do neat. They wouldn't. What I can say is, really seriously, but in LA, all the young ones, with all due respect, when you ain't, and I'm gonna say this, the only time the younger ones disrespect the older ones in LA is because they've been drug addicts or, misusing. But when you out here with them and actually getting shot at with them and still out here in the field with your shield and you putting in work, I don't had 10 fights out here, been around numerous murders. This just recently, my arm still. In fact, I got a video where we caught a pervert. Oh, about 1 million. And it was me and my crew, some youngsters. But see, we punish them because the court sometimes doesn't. And they'll make deals, especially when you're dealing with perverts and pedophiles, because a lot of times the victims are too young and it's close and personal with the family. How else can you get that young? And therefore they'll want to do something to where let's cover it up and it becomes a family secret, like in this girl case.
Right.
And that's what happens. I dealt with a lot of people that have been victims of sex trade, traffickings, and so forth. And a lot of times they don't want to come forth and relive that. They're traumatized. It's a dark, hidden secret, like men don't want to go to the doctor. I haven't had prostate cancer. I feel like this. Fuck it. I was born dying. If his ass want me to live, I live. But when you take me, you're going to have to take me where I'm on my back. That's like in prison when we got to fight for our life. The only way we go into that hospital, you got to take us on the back where I can't make it. And they need to learn that. These guys that be going ain't been to prison or nothing. How are you going to sit and glorify and you ain't faced death? But you want to get them and march them down a road to where their lives are taken. Because water you can wipe up, but I promise you, blood leaves stains. And you'll be surprised how many people. And here go another thing you can't do. Suppose these guys, these are bona fide convicted killers. See, none of these niggas got murders. So they can tell they tales are tales. But when you got niggas that actually killed somebody, they can't tell their story because that could be somebody's grandfather, somebody's grandmother, somebody's sister. So when you go to thinking you bragging about being a killer, I don't know none that do that. You can have your ass, you're already stuck in the community. And that's why you get fascinated on wannabe killers. Who, if it costs a quarter to shit, have to throw up. They don't own shit in no block. I heard a nigga damn near in New Zealand talk about he from 83rd. What that damn mean? What you own on 83rd? But you sure die for it. What you own in Chicago? You sure die for it. I never was in a position where I died for no nigga. I died and put my shit on the line for my people that wasn't in the game to make sure they asses like you don't hurt them. See, y'all don't have no structure. Niggas, when we play, that's why you don't hear us complaining and we don't shout at each other, bullets flying. But I didn't know I had a testimony because I never read the Bible, and I have 137 years of my life in prison, but I only used it to roll tobacco. That's it. Still ain't over. But man has given me 2 life sentences. A lot of people ain't people. Man can take your life. And God can give you a new life. I went through that back door, but when I had 35 to life, I'm here. When them police called me a nigga and they was going to give me the death penalty out there, here I sit. So if you think I'm worried when God has a plan for me to come in your world of chaos, that ain't me. Because silence It's like, I don't have to holler like the man up there. He didn't have to do that.
Nope.
That's the attitude they have. But why I couldn't go in there? Now I'm gonna have to come back and see what he's talking about on my mama. I got to, because you're a rental cop, nigga. I got to. So see, I'm like this. When the police call me a nigga, and that's another thing. You niggas quick to kill a nigga when they kill your partner on your dead homies who you probably got killed. That's why his ass there. But I ain't seen now one of you niggas shoot at the police when they kill your ass. Tough niggas. Let's see your paperwork. Tough niggas that brag about killing your own. And it ain't hard because most of you niggas ain't got a home. Gang goofy niggas. And this ain't for but the ones that wanna be fake niggas. We match up. So you gotta bring how you think you gonna bring a gun,
Right,
a bow and arrow to a gunfight? If you ain't got killers talking to killers, what the hell do you think they gonna listen to any other nigga that ain't no threat of their ass getting touched? Better learn this game. Let those in your community, those that have the wisdom to reach back and give back. We ain't telling you what to do. We just trying something new, player. That's all.
What do you tell the young folks, right, that are misguided, or just people in general that are misguided, and to hone into their moral compass, right? What do you say to them as far as like?
It depends. When they ask me, Mel, psychologists from all over the world thinking of a man and what they gonna ask a black animal, inner city animal, like if I flip my bipolar way. Mel, what is the number one thing you regret that you think could have changed your life? Now I don't know about y'all where your mama is a homeless hoe or your daddy was a penniless pimp and a rolling stone, but my mama worked every day of her life. Never seen her drink, never seen her with another man. My dad, in fact, I'm an only black sheep. So, and she never told me nothing wrong. Listen to your mother. If your mama ain't an enabler. See, you cannot protect a child once he leaves out into the streets. But a lot of times, mothers that are overly protected, and I don't mean like overly protected, like overbearing, they stay with them like a cub. Like when the Jews walked in New York, if one child in a Jewish community, see, they settlers. And when that one Jew child walked, that other man Jew gonna step next to him, and by the time he get to that corner, the Jews have walked and surrounded that young man. And see, since a lot of these cats haven't been out the zip codes, they only know the area of what they stay in to where they ain't seen a different culture. It's gonna be hard to break that cycle up. 50 years of gang banging and murder, but they've done it before.
Yeah.
But it had to been done before because of the violence of murder that happened that never been done before. And then what happened was when they stopped it and they could have controlled it, the politicians didn't come and help them. See, that's what helped them. They didn't sustain these guys because they couldn't take credit for making it happen. Nipsey Hussle, they had 30 days over there. And to show you how crazy shit is, I had elected officials and all kind of people. Melvin, people are saying, you killed Nipsey Hussle. I said, you mean like Trey killed him? Asked LaWanna Hawkins. She told me. She said, no, Melvin, they saying you. I said, well, that ain't true because we over here with the 60s right now because I get the call right before. And in fact, if you look on my page to show you intervention, you'll see when Nipsey got killed. You'll see on my page back then that I say, hey, there's been a rumor And look at the time. Because soon as he got shot, they called me. We just had been up there the day before filming Before We Blew with Joey Badass, where I was making a documentary for the 50th anniversary of the Crips. 69, 2019, add the numbers. We just had went the day before. In fact, we got the footage. So when I look at Nipsey getting killed, all them that was there that day, I was there the day before, but the response wasn't the same. When we got there, Cowboy, I tell you, everybody wasn't no put the guns down. We got a problem. And then I had Pete Winbush, where it's because we gangster Crips. See, this before LA Gangs Unite. So when you talk about, oh, Nipsey brought them together, if I'm over there by myself and I got a 60, that means I've been with them a long time. I can do that. They know that, but they don't say that. See, that's another thing. They won't say what I do. I have to talk myself. It shouldn't be like that. We got a movie, Ain't No Blacks, talked about it, wrote it in the newspaper in LA. But they part of the movie. You got Freeway Rick.
Yeah.
He part of the movie. You got Khalid Shaw. He worked for that time. His ass ain't wrote no article, but he'll sure write one for a rapper. But he won't write one for the real. See, I can put them all on blast. Marquise Harris Dawson, you run an intervention. You ain't supported this movie. So why would anybody else when LA not support it? Politics. Because when you can do something that they getting paid to do, not saying they not saying them. What I know is when you're in this game around the world, and I've been an interventionist since it started, and I'm sorry to say that's just how it is. I can't help it, your ass come later. Don't get mad at my story. It's my story. Me. Because I'm an introvert. Unless we do something, it's going to be me. It ain't going to never be we unless we made a movie. We went to got some money. It's, oh, Melvin, what you doing today? Oh, I'm going to do a podcast. What you doing next? Oh, I'm going to go up here and check this nigga. So they don't get it. Then they'll talk about he always, no, it is the truth. We are the first Crips. And if you really want to be serious about it, let's check our records and see who really acted. Because I'm still on parole. Because I never checked out. I'm too far in to get out because I'm staying around you niggas that still shooting. So I'm still put. If that's what you want to do. You got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Stand and come out here without nothing? Or sit in the house and don't do nothing? Can't get a job.
Yeah. Well,
So you don't know the dilemmas when you do and mess your life up, is what I'm saying. And I've lived a wonderful life. I don't have no fears because I ain't did nothing to nobody and I walk free. But I've been a gunslinger where I don't sign up for organizations because I don't be responsible. But this is a tricky game in Los Angeles because you'll get your ass killed very quickly because it's not an open stairy state. It's not. And it's just so buck wild. And here you go another thing, false propaganda that I think is important about the National Guards going to Chicago. They not going there to break up no crime busters or nothing. They were here, right up here up the road in Los Angeles, where they'll go there and protect the white folks. Koreatown here, the white area, like right here where this buster protecting a white man shit like he owned it. And it's a patio where they can sit and you can't go in there. I'm gonna go right back up in there and go in there. And I'm gonna have the police walk me in there and ask them why I can't go in there. And then we're gonna see what he at, and I'm gonna really see if he really wanna come out after work. I promise you on my mom.
Well, let's go ahead and go through these quick fun. Well, I don't know if it's fun questions.
It bugs me. It bugs me because I'm very humble.
Yeah.
But I don't like it, nigga. What you looking at, bitch?
So what's
You're looking because you see everybody around me looking at me. They know who the hell I am. My face is my ID. I help this community. Do them niggas feed the homeless every day? I wake up at 6:30. Do they feed them at lunch? I wake up at 12:30. Do they feed them at 4:30? Do you work as a I support youth? I'm an agent. I can sign any basketball player. I got two granddaughters. That's one playing Mexico professional soccer, the other one at Jackson State soccer.
Mm.
So just because I was a bad seed don't mean I'd stop my family. I don't allow them to gang bang.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a positive role model.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you think you're a positive role model where you never did something that you rapping about and that's supposed to be a role model, why don't you tell them the story of how you got where you're at, where your ass was in school with braces and knew a million ways to shake hands and kept your ass out the way of gang?
Yep. Make a difference. That's for sure. Definitely have to instill that. And the only way to do it is taking steps like how we're talking about these issues. What's the first thing that went through your mind the day you walked free?
To go to California. In fact, when I first thing I mind went through my mind when I got free from this 85 years since, let's talk about the first thing I did in my commitment to justice. I hadn't seen my mama in 40. Well, I seen her, but it looked like I was going to have a walk-in casket and die in prison. That's what you call the cell door. When you close it behind you, you walked in and closed the casket standing up. That's a walk-in casket. But everybody on this building I was in, everybody were there for non-violent, non-serious offenses or other murders where they actually deserved the life sentences for you breed. And all of them since very few. In fact, in all my life, I never seen nobody get out on a reversal. Geronimo Jack. But usually that's 30, 40 years later and nothing you can do to give it back. Geronimo Pratt got a settlement and didn't even get a year to spend it. And he gave us for it. But when I got out, before I was walking out, my boy Kelsey Thomas, East Coast, that's the Vinci boy that was with Michi, and he had a brother that was found hung on death row. He been in there 40 years. And he told me to tell y'all what y'all doing out there. Y'all East Coasters and everybody else is stopping him from paroling in there. Because he's a real bona fide 5-time convicted murderer, 2 times been out separate one, but he changed his life. And y'all making it where it's hard for him because y'all gangbanging with the real boys in these prisons. The establishment don't want to get him go. And so that's what happened there. But this is what happened. So, and that's who actually helped me get out on the life sentence. He was reading a hip-hop magazine. We sitting there because you're only coming out 2 hours a day. You never see the sun come up. You never see the sun go down. You watching the walkers every day. That's 4 walk. And anyway, he say, hey, man, Scub, I can see something that might can help you on your case. It was a decision that happened in Milwaukee for a no-knock notice because they had illegally entered the place to give me 3 strikes and planted the drugs on me, and it should have been dismissed. I filed that as an affidavit and an amendment, and because of that, I got released. 1 sentence saved my life. And when I was leaving, they all hollered out, "Don't forget us." I heard that echo like we on a slave ship in the galley.
Wow.
When I come out from up under that water, I had on a pair of sweatsuits. I had a pair of sweat. I didn't even have no dress outs because you don't know when you're leaving. You got to sweat it out to 90 days after you've been granted. They can file an appeal to be chicken shit and you stay in 2 more years, but they didn't have nothing. They couldn't refute it. So they called me out. I didn't even have nothing. And I gave my boy that's still in there. My TV passed out, everything. All I had on was a pair of shoes that I had to walk on. I just put them on. I had on a sweatshirt, a sweat top. And since I had beat the case and it was a reversal, that means no parole, I could have went home anywhere. I went straight to Fresno and debated the man that wrote the 3 strikes law and had a debate with Mike Reynolds that actually wrote the law at KPFK. In fact, I tore him up and then I helped the organizations. That's what I did. Now, in this case, when I had the 3 counts of the attempted murder and other 5 cases were those in Georgia. We was getting, I had hit for 130,000. I supposed to have been giving some shit to the Tennessee Titans. Back then it was Vince Evans. Vince Young was the quarterback. Johnson the running back, and I had a little partner that was running back from USC named McNeil. Went to Dorsey, hurt his neck, but one of my workers in the game was his partner. So they were in Seattle, August preseason, and he said, "Hey man, you get this and that and that and this, and I'll hook you up, and they'll pay it." So I go and making it, and I don't work my way down from Naptown, where they went from Naptown, Kentucky, over the Ohio River. And that's the type of money I can get. Like if I want to put the black ink plus the black ink plus white paper and just do fraud. That's easy. I just stopped. So anyway, we in there in Georgia at the Mall of America, and I don't went and got this shit. And I had a boy that ended up being from St. Andrews Park. Everybody know Jada Mickens, number 85, that won the championship with Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady. He was the kick returner. Shout out to Judy Mickens. I mentored him. He went from the park where he stayed on the narrow path. He was just starting his career at Washington as a freshman at this time, 2010. So I called his mama and say, "I know you need some clothes. What he want?" So I'm getting him shit, and that's why I was 2 youths with me, who I got with me that were GDs from Gary, Indiana, and I got them getting shit. But it's me that don't take the ball. But because they youth and they break it in the houses in Georgia, when you break in the house, you're getting 40, 50 guns because it's a gun control state.
Right.
And I'm doing this, so we gangstered up. The dudes from Georgia who supposed to pick up the item called the police and told them. I see that I'm cracked. I break. Because now I'm thinking, damn, this Georgia, I might get 3 strikes. I break to the car, but they let me run to the car. I'm in the car with my hands up, just waiting to go. It ain't nothing but credit card shit. And that's when the shit starts. Hey, nigga, this. They showing off. It was 5 of them. 3 men, a gun right here, a gun right here, and a gun.
Wow.
I don't start at the car. They let me do it to set me up. They already know who I am. They don't told them. They don't read my record. They know this asshole. We can get him. And so they knew where the car was. That's what Georgia niggas do too. So I run to the car, got my hands up. They got a gun here, gun here, gun here, and I never do it. Taser here, taser here, too late. And I'm just saying nothing. They talking shit. But my hands been up 15 minutes, and they ain't arrested me. And all this time I'm thinking I could get a life sentence. My mama gonna be hurt. I'm going to jail. They fucking with me. I could get life, and a calmness came over. And I said to myself, I'm holding court. And I looked right up at him, and I told him, either you gonna put them handcuffs on, or else you gonna have to pull that trigger. Start doing this. And everybody started panicking now. Don't do it, but it went fast. Don't do it, don't do it. And I put that car in reverse. I didn't know they had surrounded me with other trucks or police, the way I didn't know they were back there. I couldn't take my eyes from that girl. That girl was right here. They call it suicide by police, what I did. But I knew it was a camera. Don't forget we had them all.
Yeah.
It showed me with my hands up to where when they kill me, my mom and them gonna get paid. Shit. And I didn't think they would shoot me because of that. I think they bluffed it. Cause goddamn me, I put that car in reverse and I just hit the and went in reverse, and I didn't get no more than a boom. And I say, oh shit, but I don't knock their asses all out cause the door. And I thought they shooting at me from the back. All this happened about 5. That shit go quick. Shit going quick, but I ain't blinking an eye. And shit don't start. I don't ran over these police and knocked them. And I go back and boom, I jump. Now I could see them And I'm saying, damn, that's a shock. I didn't know it. And I go back forward and they start shooting. And I fear to keep from hitting. I crash in the car. Next thing I know, I'm in a coma. My lawyer went and got the tape. He hid that tape and brought back a fake tape. That's why I'm home up under the Alfred plea. And that's why Gunner cannot be a snitch, all you rappers up under Alfred plea. I told them, they started it with me. In fact, internal affairs come. Ain't no record of them because they told me you won't even be charged with this. They knew what happened. When I go to court on a Sunday, you can go to court on Georgia on a Sunday. The judge got on Wrangler belt, Wrangler jeans, a plaid shirt, looked like he come from Green Acres. I know it. And he say, I never will forget it. He dropped his glasses. After the DA done told him my record for 30 minutes, everybody in the court said, that boy doing that. He say, I see you from California, yeah, but you in Georgia now. And let me tell you, boy, we got the death penalty. And if that officers or any of them officers die, you gonna get the death penalty. And I pivoted when I heard that because I thought they wouldn't charge me. And this saved my life. I say, Your Honor, there's a video that will show me with my hands up, me not doing nothing. And here go another lesson about the law. When you use a car, even though you might hit or kill somebody, was it your intent to kill? Don't forget, I veered from it. There's no intent. Even they said it. But because of the other arrests and they hid the tape, they never offered me a deal. For 2 years, I sat in Gwinnett County facing first the death penalty. The police didn't die. Then it's life without parole. They hid the tape. I couldn't figure. In fact, Christopher Dorton would tell you. I called him and say, hey, man, it looked like they framing me. And another big shot lady. I set them up to where they have to say, Melvin told us that. Because I'm on another unjust sentence. And I caught my own attorney where he went and took the original tape because when they said the death penalty, this would save it. I say, Your Honor, there's a tape at the Mall of America that will show me with my hands up for 15, 20 minutes. They drove me to do it because my defense was suicide by police. You know, he went and got it, switched it, brought in a DVD when it was a Betamax where you can record it. And it took me 2 years and it wasn't nothing on it but smoke, nothing. And I say, oh shit. I said, what is this? He said, that's the video. And finally, I was down to my last minutes gaps where I thought it had hit me. Hey, that video, that DVD, that nigga switched it because I don't rob malls. I don't rob banks. You do not use DVD at a place where nothing might not happen. Say like a bank. They'll run a tape, but they won't run it. They'll run something over it if it's not robbed. Other than that, you got to buy a DVD. And then I say, hey, man, I got it. I called up there. I used my investigative report, and I say, I got the recovery that would do it. And I say, hey, man, I think somebody broke into my car, and I think it was a couple weeks ago. How long do you keep a video after an incident happened? He said 90 days. That's all I needed to hear. Remember when I told him at the court, there's a video? That meant he went and got it. That's why he went and got it, but he switched it. So now, when I asked him the critical question, when did you have this installed? He said, we've been having this since we've been here. When he came to take me to court to get Vlad TV, you are here when they come, everybody looking, because I told the whole pie, watch this, how I check this cracker. And when he came, and I'm going to get him because he needs to be, they did it. Look what he did. Hold up.
Mm.
Hold up.
Uh-oh. I think people are calling him. Well, if you haven't checked the movie, the film documentary, Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic, please do so. It's on Prime Video, Google TV, and we need to get everybody to participate. And it's really a movement. It's a lot of things going on right now, and this is very important because it's a crisis, a lot of violence, and just a bunch of not just violence, just everyday life, right? And how you react to the potential violence that might come your way. Well, let's see. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back on here. But it's to go to www.Terry, Terry, C is in Charlie, Carney, Carney, senior, SR.com. And that's where you'll find it. Let me see if I can pull it up so that way you can see what I'm talking about while I think he said that his charger was, or his phone was dying. Oh, here he is. Okay. There we are.
You know I'm not lying. So this what happened at the pod, so help me God. This what's happened in the courtroom and your life on the line. He come because they give you khakis, because you're in the South. They give you khakis and a khaki shirt. And he said, well, Mr. Farmer, I had told everybody, police, watch how I got it. He said, well, Mr. Farmer, you know they ain't offered you no deal. You might beat one of them, but you got 8 cases. You're going to get life. But we going to go on the trial. I said, I don't think we going to go to trial, nigga. I called him a nigga. I said, I don't think we going to go to trial, nigga. And he looked. I said, yeah, nigga, you didn't think I'd catch you where you threw that tape around? And then I said, I can't wait to go to court and tell them what the fuck you did. And then they took me from talking to him where they put us in a room. But I knew I had him because I called him a nigga and everything else, and I talked bad about it and say fuck you and everything. But I knew I had him. So I ain't never seen him but 3 times in 2 years. They send your ass, they call it dragging. You don't even know when you go into court. And so now when I go to court where I'm supposed to start a trial where he say, oh, you gonna get it, they don't take me to trial because you know I got it. So then he fucked up. He switched. They all switched. In fact, the DA and all of them back then, they're on indictment now for going and stealing. Yeah, this Gwinnett County. They were crooked back then. They had a sex trial that was big, that was so big that they charged them there. Google it. And the DA and the prosecutor that was there that I got, all of them got found guilty of going behind the judge's desk, taking evidence. And I'm telling the world, I didn't do nothing. And I've been on parole. How long I've been out? I got out in 2010. I've been on parole 10 years. And I ain't did nothing to even get there. And so then, instead of me going trial, they started twirling. That means you going to pick a jury. Yeah. You go through a 10-day period. But every time I went, they'd sit me in that bullpen, isolated. At 12 o'clock, they put me on the bus. The next day, they put me on the bus. The next day, they took me. But this is, this is stressing because you're going to get a life sentence. They ain't offering me no deal. And they probably going to find you guilty. And you're not getting on. This is what an alpha plea does. It gets you home without telling. I maintain I'm not taking no deal for that. And I kept saying I didn't do it. It's a video all the time. And we were going to start trial until I did that. And then about the 4th day, he comes into the bullpen sweating like all. You ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe it. Because earlier when we got ready to start trial, he said they never offered nobody a deal. You know they're gonna probably find you guilty of one of them. That's all it takes. You're not coming home. But now he talking about you ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe it. And he jumping and hollering, but all I said was, oh, I'm gonna believe it because I got your ass in the corner. I
Mm.
say, that shit you doing ain't impressing me. You wait till everybody leave. I say, what's the deal? He said, they'll give you 20, do 5. That means you got 20 years on parole. You'll do 5 years in state prison. But
Okay.
since I didn't do nothing, and I figure 4 years was really the crime for the fraud and stuff, I'll settle for that. You do
Yeah.
crime, you do the crime. But I'm not going to do, so I can't do 5. Because I know I got to do all of it. I ain't getting no breaks. I'm going to do 4 years. I'm going to do 3 years and damn near 9 months, where everybody else might do 1.5 years. I got to do the max because of the background.
Right.
So I say, I tell you what I do. I told him I want 3. I say I do 20, do 3. Don't forget, he said 5. Because I figured they'd go in there and he'd come back and we'll meet in the middle, 4. And he came back and he said, well, they'll give you 4. And this is why people need to stay off Gunner, the rapper.
Yeah.
He say, sit down so I can explain this special plea. I never heard of an alpha plea. I just thought I'm going to go in there and plead guilty, which is what you usually do. But because I maintained my innocence, but also because I had them where I could sue them, that's when the alpha plea come in, to where there's stipulations.
Mm.
Gunner got all kinds, 21. In my case, they hit me with crucial ones. You cannot say nothing. You cannot sue. You cannot say that a tape was here.
Mm.
So I got to swallow that, because what happens is, because of those numbers, that means that the statute of limitation that sue them is exonerated and nobody won't. So what we have to do is be more innovative and updated when it comes to laws too. That's a
Mhm.
problem, to where I can tell America a white attorney took a video, hid it, and I could have died in prison, got beat up, shot at, got 83 years, didn't do nothing. I'm home and I don't get my day in court.
Wow.
And I'm going to Chicago to win an award when I had it. See, when you really on the police radar,
Mm-hmm.
you see what come along with it?
Yeah.
No, that's why you'll know what's real. When you're on the police radar and not gangbanging, but really in the criminal elements that involve violence. When you
Mm.
do drug deals, when it comes to cocaine, they do the deals with guns.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing weed deals, 50 pounds, you do handshakes. It's a gentleman game. When you're doing frauds, you can go into the bank and rob a bank with a pencil or a pen or a pistol. I've done both, but I've got more money at the tune of 55, 60,000 3 times a week, traveling around this goddamn nation doing fraud, getting my money from the alleys to the valleys. And a lot of them girls and my workers, they kids are living fabulously. They invested and they haven't looked back. But me, because of my lifestyle of fast money, I can always go take it. I don't have no problems in being broke, because I could be one day chicken, next day feather. But let me tell you how I did save money. It's when I got a job where I actually earned it, to where now this money that I worked hard for, I can't go out and shoot that. I can't go out and buy dope, because I got a daughter in school. I got a mama that need that. I'm gonna eat off my EBT card, and I saved 13 checks because I can't get no bank account because of so much money I've taken. I can't get a bank account for life. So that stops me from being like my business person. I got
Mm.
Hidden Corners Entertainment. I'm a cat. I can't even get money. I got a lawsuit. See what happens when you mess your life up? Not just about that. It's all type of complications if you live to get old.
Mm.
And then you're too young to go work. So it's a lot of things that you can learn from the life I'm living and the other ones that have been there, done that. and just trying to give back, man, and make sure that you tap into the movie and give support and try to do what you can in your community and quit worrying about what another nigga eat don't make you shit.
Mm.
It don't make you shit. And you know you can go left, you can go right, and I always say go and control your own path. Cause see on these Facebooks and stuff, follow, look, subscribe, let me know. I ain't doing all that rah-rah and game goofy ass cult.
Right.
They're not a culture. To me, they're not a culture. They're a cult. Fanatics where you will know somebody this, somebody that, and they'll be
Yeah.
wrong and you want to make it right. I can't deal with that. So I'm out of sight.
Mm. What's one myth about gangs that needs to die?
Pardon me?
What's one myth about gangs that needs to be obsolete?
One myth about gangs, let me
Yeah.
see. Well, you talk about Crips and Bloods or black gangs, or because the black gangs, let me put it like this. I'll tell you what's different. Let's go. I got a better question, a better answer.
Okay.
That way to clear pie. First, let's not call them gangs. That way, white folks and everybody. Let's call them the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Okay.
Nobody know about the Hatfields and the McCoys. That's the white folks gangbang.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now, the difference is this. You got three groups that are considered street gangs. BGFs are not GDs were a gang, but they were a structure. They were an organization.
Mm-hmm.
They had a structure. They had protocol. They had rules. The next one is the Hells Angels. Mexican Mafia, Hells Angels, and Crips are all considered the only three street gangs in America. But when it comes to the crimes are committed, that's why you see Young Gunner now get state RICO acts because they're committing low-level, street-level, low-level bullshit crimes such as killing your own, selling drugs, burglary, and you're not organized to where you're crossing. That is a street gang. A hoe without a pimp, no structure. Those are Crips and Bloods or whatever. None of them. The Crips and Bloods. Now, when you come to the Mexican Mafia and the Hells Angels, their structure, by the way, rest in peace, Sonny Barger, my boy, that was my celly. That's the leader of the Hells Angels. See, I can go talk to the Hells Angels. How many of y'all can? They don't even know Sonny Barger. Hear the names, how I can go. I've lived a remarkable life of knowing people. That's the Hells Angels. Then we talking about the Mexican Mafia with my friend Pig Leg Joe that started it. Y'all know Pig Leg Joe? I do. Y'all ever knew my boy Nincho that got killed in the county? Let me tell you a story about murder while we talking about gangs and structure and how the Mexican Mafia. I had a friend one day, 1978, and they showing the Super Bowl. Denver Broncos, Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
We don't went outside on a visit. Me, Troy Hicks rolling 60, Michael Beavers rolling 60, Philip Baines, murder, Hoover, Tony Stacy, murder, Hoover, Black Tyrone Shows, murder, Hoover, China Dog, Pyru, murder, Hoover. That's what they in there for when we on the 1978. And I got my buddy, a little Mexican sat by me, rest in peace. 17 years old when he died, while y'all bragging about killing. 78, 22. He'd have been like me, 67, 68, but he died at 17. Jose Trejo, my boy. 17 years old, sitting right next to me. They lined up here and you think I'm lying. They gonna say he ain't lying. If they watching, they gonna say he ain't lying. And we sitting there Got two Mexicans in the back. One of them named Rocky. He's still in jail for this murder. I don't know what the other boy was. And we got a boy sitting right here in the day room in juvenile YTS. He's training school, the training center for the up in the, if that's what y'all say. We just did. And anyway, it's a Sunday. Dallas Cowboys, Denver Broncos, Craig Gordon, the quarterback, 1978. We don't went on the visit. My boy don't had a perm and Rayford done brought PCP in for us, through his roller. My girl done brought weed. We eating out there. We don't have to go. So we sitting back, five of us. So we all sitting here. Jose sitting there. And all of a sudden, somebody jumped, the Mexican jumped right over this chair. Got in front of him, clamped his hands down because he had a rest. Somebody came behind. All this happened about 10 seconds. And I promise you, while they doing it, we ain't moving. We looking dead at the TV. Another one came from behind, put a guitar string, and the other one had a knife. And I thought when they were hitting me, I thought he was hitting me in the fist, but it was a knife. That's why he never stood. And we sat right there. And why they don't have guns. You got to come in to break that shit up. The counselors, Mrs. Culpepper, and the preacher, they got ready to come through that door. They told them they would kill them, and they locked everybody in there and sat right there. And they turned the TV down with him sitting next to me, and they said, "We're sorry, Dad, to interrupt your Super Bowl." They turned the TV on and then sat right in the back, and that's how we all went to jail. And they took all the blacks, and they asked us, "Did you see anything?" They were so mad after they beat us up, and they said, "You telling us y'all the only ones in that room, Melvin, and y'all seen that man get killed, and y'all say you didn't see shit." Yep. See, we know how long it say to say no. We gonna time your ass when you go in there. Now we gone back. Do you know? It's 2005. I'm at there, and they bringing Tookie down for to get executed. His lawyers don't came because I'm the one that got an affidavit where it's Barbara Bickner. See the stories I can tell? They don't know that I'm the one that know whether Tookie did it because I put Tookie in the game on the murders and the robberies and anything you see in the case. That happened in '73 when I introduced. That's it. So anyway, who I was talking about right here? Because I'm thinking, who I was talking about?
You're talking about the guy that was beside you, and they,
You don't come back. I tell you when I'm starting to wind down. Now who I was talking about? But anyway, the murder. See how I go?
Yeah.
Because it is true stories. See how I am? I got selective amnesia. It comes with getting old, but I don't forget what the hell I live.
Mm.
I don't need no encyclopedia. And I'm not bragging. I could tell these stories all day where you won't be laughing. Don't have me do it. You'll never get an end to this.
Mm.
So now, Jose laying dead.
Yeah.
We sitting here. We don't win. And I meet Rocky, Hawaiian Garden. He's still in jail. 2005. This is 78.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, your name Rocky? Mexican Mafia, big old boy. We don't get along. We don't talk. But I went right in there in the middle of Mexican Mafia. I said, you remember me? Skull, YTS, when y'all caught the murder on Jose Trey. And he said, you the ones y'all didn't tell. And he told, this has never been done. Where he called all the Mexican Mafia. He say, this Vato, I don't care what it is. He no touch. That means doing riots, anything. No touch. Because we didn't snitch. We were honorable. They were so mad at us. Let me tell you another story about they fighting in jail when my boy Love got killed in Parma, all the same one where they trained American and me, where they paid us 2 6-packs of cigarettes. And they chased James Omens behind trying to make a documentary about the Mexican Mafia. He had to go. See, that's the difference between a street gang, and the Crips. The Mexican mafia, James Olmos made American meat. He didn't get permission. He had to go to the FBI. Crips make a movie. Yeah. See, their state, the feds. Let me tell you another murder about how the Mexican mafia played to show you the difference in the structure. We're in Palm Hall, rest in peace, love. He was a Pyru. He had a brother that was a Pyru and Tracy used to Crip. We don't got in an incident at CRC where we don't stab the white boys up in a ride where they tearing down shit. And the BGF wouldn't do it, so we did. And in fact, Michael Stone, that who got killed by Orlando Tupac. Stone was with me, that's who got killed. Compton Finest. Daryl Young of Brim that got out and got a murder later on. He's still been in there since 1981. Gary Nettles was there. Duncan, who got killed during a robbery. All of us together. But we Crips, and we got the Black Panthers. They mad telling us, y'all fighting blacks. Y'all got to tuck the flag. We telling you got to kill it. Come make us. But they ain't doing nothing to the white boys. They're tearing down some shit from them. So we end up stabbing them for them. I go to the hall, and they end up telling on us because we couldn't have got caught. They knew we did it, but we had on bandanas. Stabbed their asses up. Stalls a ride. 2 or 3 days later, we go to Palm Hall. That's how we in Palm Hall for attempted murder. Since they want to talk about fighting. And we go into classification. They had a killer named One-Eye Omar that already had killed a Crip in prison because the first tier is BGF, the second tier is Bloods, and that third tier is Crips, and on the other side is Mexican Mafia, and on the second tier is the ADs, and on that third tier is non-affiliated. And you better tell them where you're from. And this is why. Now, show you how it was in our days. They had what you make a spear out of. That's taking a piece of newspaper, because it's wood. You roll it like that. It's going to get hard. You pick that knife and tie it on. When you come by, you boom. That's what happens. That's how the last police got killed in San Quentin, where my crime got charged for that murder while y'all talking about fighting. So anyway, you got the third tier, we Crips, we back out. One day chicken, next day feathers. I go down there. Omar had a spear. Tried to stab me, but he had called it stay on the wall. That means stay away from that goddamn cell where that spear can't get you. Stay on the wall. We're young. We learning. They don't kill all type of us because we never been to prison to learn the tricks yet. See the game? We not playing. This shit's serious. They killing Crips. They were young. They never been to prison. So you don't think they wait?
Right.
Shit. So when you talk about we was in jail, yeah, fighting the way y'all asses can take pictures and fight. We had to kill and protect. So now, he tried to stab me. Police right there. You would think the police would take the stick and the knife. He didn't do shit.
Oh, wow.
I come back up. I tell Love. I say, Love, stay on the wall, homie. They speared that nigga in that first tier. He went right down there in that same dude killed.
Wow.
See how serious this can get? That's why I don't like talking about my life, because my life ain't gonna be hip-hop. It's gonna be about robbing. You're gonna have to start with that shit, and I got a gang of them.
Right.
And then find about and see how I change the way I change. I'm a tax preparer now.
Yeah.
I never had a scratch up. I ain't never did nothing, but boy, I don't like talking about it.
So, I was gonna say, as someone, right, who's lived on both sides of the gun violence crisis, what truth do you feel responsible to bring to the screen?
Pardon me?
As someone who's lived on both sides of the gun violence crisis, right? What truth did you feel responsible to bring to the screen in regards to the film documentary?
It's true to the film. Well, the whole film, that is the movie, the authenticity. There is nobody on this film that hasn't been a victim of gun violence.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. It ain't about what I can bring, it's what they can bring. And what we're bringing is a chance to organize as a group of concerned citizens,
Yes.
parents, kids. We all have to play. It ain't my job to go tell no nigga 19, 20 years old what to do, because I've been there.
Right. Right.
I've been there. But we didn't glorify it. We didn't get
Right.
into where we said, you got to be this, you got to be that. That's what I don't like. Let a kid took in there. You knew what to do. You signed up in our era. But if you think they were recruiting, or we saying, never, ever have I told a child to even go do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want nobody to tell my child.
Right.
I never. That's why I go to jail by myself. Whatever I do,
Mm-hmm.
I do by myself. So,
Yeah.
what you gonna get out this movie is the authenticity of it, and it's a 12-part series to where you gonna get the young, the old, the rappers. You're gonna get all of them that have lived this life, been in the rap game. That's gonna tell them, like Lamar Luger, he murdered Dirty Rotten Scandals. This is for the home. Now, when you get him on as a guest, who we put on, you would think that he was a gangster where he had the glove, the beanie. And I've done article. What was the name of that? About the how gangs colors.
Mm-hmm.
I went. It was called the. I did it for the FBI. But let me, and I'll get to you once again. But now about Lumen Love, image and actuality. All them that married, this is for the homie, one of the most gang respected songs to be played at a funeral. This is for the homie when you don't got his ass killed. If that ain't the craziest shit on the dead homie, I don't have none. So I can understand. But let me tell you what he would tell you. And most people,
I can't see you.
bro,
Sorry.
they're gonna say, I regret
Mm-hmm.
that the industry took me out of church choir and then had me dress up like a gang member and the damage that it does.
Gotcha.
See, that's what you do there is those type of people that say those type of stories. So really, what it should be is those that were there at the beginning, nobody ever heard their story, that let them speak. And then the next generation should go. That's why I said documentary where everybody. And then as we add on, you'll start seeing, you go to OGs with the next ones that they ran with, and so forth, to where you walk it down
Yes.
to the young youth. It's their world. I'm not going to be here, but I can try to make it where you live to get where I'm at now. So that's what I want to do. I want to give back and make it where you do the right thing. You know, go from a tax burden to a tax burden idea. And see, I'm a good example as other. I'm still on parole, but I'm showing you that if you commit it, stay disciplined and don't break the law, do what's right, man, and give back. That's all you got to do.
I think that's important, when you focus on other things besides yourself, right? I think if you focus on the community and focus on saving lives or focus on something else than the negative things that's around you, I don't know. That's just my personal belief. But when you're so focused on everyone that's doing negative things, right? Birds of a feather flock together type of mentality, then you're guilty by association. And it's hard to pull yourself away from that when that's all you know. But when you start going to doing the inner work in your trauma and being a child and just understanding who you are, right? And the spiritual factor comes to play, the man above, then you can start healing, right? Those traumas. But I mean, what are your thought process on that? Because I think it's all.
You are right. And let me tell you the statement, You made that really, you said it right. That's why I've been quiet. Guilt by association. That's, once again, I use me. I got a lot of guys that have been actually convicted of murders, robberies, or whatever that. But I haven't. I haven't. But because I'm around them, I'm guilty. Guilt by association. But I was at the group league. I do this. So I always use me, unless it's a we, and you're absolutely correct. Guilt by association. And that's and mental health and other things. You're a woman. You should know. You can put in your two. I got mine. And like you say, you could be wrong. No, two people can be right. We're from different spectrums. I don't understand the workforce. I don't understand a lot of things that people take for granted. You know, I went to be a tax preparer and ain't never seen a W-2. I didn't even know. I never worked. But I went and took that goddamn class where I was on, excuse my language, I ain't a sinner, but I ain't made it to a saint. And the lady say, Melvin, you got too much sense in numbers. You'll make a great tax preparer. And I'd say, but I got a gang of records. This lady's a big boss. She say, in fact, I'm the only one in the United States on parole that worked for the federal government that got its own building, that has been to jail for credit card cases, making ID and fraud. And I'm put in where I had my own building and I'm getting everybody information where I once made millions of dollars. But the FBI, she called them. And that's who run this. This is the state government. And they have the tax board all out there in DC. You ought to see what I had to go through. And they first, and I'm still haven't been, I get my CTE number, that's my thing, and I can still do it. But they had me before they said, Melvin, and he go about checking a box and telling them you got a record. I just check the box. Shit. That means shit. They sent me a letter. They said, Melvin, why you didn't tell us about a robbery in 75, 79, 77, 81, 84? You know, I told them robberies. Well, I wrote them about robberies, and you know what they told me? Them ain't the ones you got arrested for. We're talking about these. I don't told them other robberies that I don't did, and it wasn't even them. And they laughed at me. But that's about checking the box and about how you can mess your record up like me. That's the clear example that I'm giving you youths out there. I had to go through that. I'm still on probation. Let me tell you another thing about out here in California when you got a record. You can't get in no place by yourself. They do a background check to see if you got a record. That means I'll never be able to stay by myself in the state of California. I can't pass the background check. So that's like forcing me to be out. When you ain't got no income or whatever, you see what happens? People don't be knowing these laws and be thinking things and seeing things that they do. And they really don't be knowing the adversities that others go to. And that's one thing I can tell people. I'll tell you an instance where I chased a man down when we was young. I chased him where he was running. I had that 38. He jumped that fence. I jumped that fence. He hit that close wire. Hit that close wire. He jumped that gate. He ran his mama house. He jumped in that tree and he gave up. I put that gun in my other hand. I reached my hand up. I say I don't do it like that. And the dude who I don't tell this story much, and my friend who was sitting here and he say, why did you do that, Melvin? I say, because we played fair. There's another guy where the last time he seen me in 75, I had a shotgun pointed right on his spine. And I was telling him, remember me? And he says, that's you, Melvin Farmer? And it was me, Babyface, leader of the Rolling 60s, Rona, his cousin, and Sloop. We in the Crips mobile. That's a blue station wagon where you know when you see them, it's a problem. And we riding around, and we don't see little Caesar and this little monster, and we knew how to hit that light
put that car in neutral, and take that sucker in idle with him 520s peeling. And I got a shotgun from that door to that door, where it take me 2 blocks to roll that window down. And right when I say pull up, because you had to lock your door, you didn't have the buzzer, you had to turn your back. You knew it. And when you turn your back, you're going to pull it right up on you. And you put that gun, but I pulled it out, and everybody's sitting like this. Baby face just sit. They don't look to see. They sit straight ahead. Rona's sitting there. And she would end up being implicated when they went and killed the Alexander family and some more murders down the line. Just so you know. It's just And anyway, I stick that gun out that window, that 12 gauge, went from here to here. I say, remember me? He said, that's you, Melvin Farmer? I said, yeah. And he'll tell you. I said, you know, I got you right here. Exactly how I do. I said, I could kill you, but we don't do it like that. We play fair. We ain't gonna shoot you in the back. Call and ask him. This right after I done saved him at the first murder in the 72. Don't forget that about it. It's the same cats. Now we 75 and we getting up this morning. And we drove off, and I never seen him again. Because she moved out. He did his thing. I started going back and forth to where we grew out of it. But that's the last time we seen each other. Then when I went to North Carolina, I seen him. So a lot of these things we can tell where we played honorable. We're not proud of it. But when we played the game, we didn't involve innocent children. We didn't brag about it, wouldn't brag about it. And we know we did wrong, and we only did it for 14, 18. Now we going into something. But when you 40, 50 years old, talk about, I'm guessing, you know, I'm a big gangster Crip. And I'm going to be inactive unless you activate. That's just how I go as a man. So we go back to the the Hatfields and the McCoys. We as street gangs and blacks, and that's all around, they're street gangs. You have to get a structure and one chain of command. But everybody gonna want to be king shit or turd island, or be the only man on Blind Island with one eye. That make you king, nigga, because you got one eye. Yeah. So they got to do something. They can figure it out. I'm having fun being broke.
Right. That is true. When you don't have that structure, it is chaos. Just like
The mafia kill for money. Everybody kill for money. I watch these movies, these Hallmark. When the white folks kill, look at what they name. I almost got away with it. Murder, She Wrote. Buried in snow. Buried in sand. Buried in a lake. All these are named a white folks show. And when you look at them, it's like it's accepted that when they get a problem, they kill for money. Kyle, Eric, and Lyman in there killed their mama for money. And I got more time than them, and I ain't did shit. When I got a life sentence, I got more time than them for $2 worth of dope with Kyle and Lyman and theirs. And so we got to treat the general justice system. But I can tell you one thing that I can tell you, as far as in California, the way they act here, and it's from California, it really hampers the effects of guys getting out of prison that's so deservedly needed. They've been in there 45 years. And all them guys that I know that's getting out now, they pretty much say the same thing. They feel sad that they hurt their mother. When you don't went and did all this for some Negroes that didn't send you a dime when you were sitting there, didn't kill when you was go, probably went and took your girl, your baby, and everything else, and you'll come back to them. But at the end of the day, you don't want to play with a man that's trying to make amends to his mother that are in a situation like we are, to where we're trying to make our mothers proud because we hurt her, and then you come trying to talk shit. That'll get somebody. It just ain't cool, because at 15,
Everybody know I put a gun on my dad and told him I would kill him if he ever hit my mother. That's in the document. Another where I got 250 my document that was made during the LA Times. In fact, I'll send it to you. See, these are the type of things when they talking about murder. If you want to talk about murder, I can talk about. I had a friend during this same time that killed my other partner father. They threw him in the trash. And see, I could go on and on, but when you say something, I relate it to crime.
Right.
See how I go?
Right.
But they don't talk to me about other stuff, sports. I'm a sports agent. My movie. They gets caught up in me and that. I don't like talking about that. It's no way I would talk here, but because I came here because it's peace.
Yes.
And I can breathe. I can't breathe when I go back there. It's tough breathing when they breathing down your neck. Trying to take the crown off your head. I don't know what you're chasing me for, nigga. You just doing a attempted robbery because you damn sure ain't getting no money. You might as well go to Fort Knox and rob them because you ain't getting a dime. But seriously though, I just rabble because I don't talk much. Don't really do interviews because they bore me. But for this movie, section purposes, Terry did a fantastic job. Ice-T, we got all the rappers, all those, the victims, the suspect, but it's really focused on mental health. And this is a chance for us to see what we can do. And it needs to be a challenge. It only costs you so much. You can do this at your schools, at the parks, anywhere, or open dialogue, or create it to where they can be to do it. We're just here to provide the opportunity.
Yes. And we need to have folks step up as far as like you were saying, all these artists that have or even like entrepreneurs that have this moral compass, right? That's been in the gangs or been doing like violence and been in and out of prison, to step up to the podium and help and put their voice out there, because that's what real, the reality of life. That's what we need to hear.
But then when they put their voice out there, they go and get rappers. Like, you got to bring people like me or those that are actually out here from any geographic that the streets gonna respect. You can't just sit and rap it and then, like for instance, Snoop going to Chicago to help them. Why Snoop ain't here? He can't. No, he can't. See, over there, he's somebody. But no, in fact, ain't nothing gonna change that. But it's a difference when I go. I'm a bona fide gang member like they are in the streets. And I'm gonna call it like it is, because that's the problem. They putting these rappers, actors, and entertainers where they putting it out there, but they putting it out there where they're getting the grants, the funding, and the money to where the people out here, they pillaging us. No, if you can go like Farrakhan, he from Chicago. Well, why he ain't over there if he can have a 10 million man mark? You can't even control the city that you're from. But why you need 10 million man? Handle Chicago, that's where you're from. If you're from LA, handle it. If you say that's what y'all do, you do intervention and everything. I don't say I do it. Y'all get paid to do it. And y'all don't pay me where I could do it. And they know this. Not because I'm tough, but because I've been honorable in the game, and I don't have no jacket on me with nobody, because I stayed out to 40 years where my group, the Hatfields and the McCoys, fought 40 years in this city, where I had to back up because I've been from the beginning, and I was with the Hatfields and the McCoys when they even birthed their first baby. Now they want me to get into their fight and commit abortions. I can't do that. That's honorable. That's staying in your lane. So I've been in exile 40 years and have to hear, oh, you not this, you not that. But nigga, I'm staying out because I'll be killing one of my friends, family members.
Right.
But they will shoot at me.
Well, for those that don't know, and I'm going to pull this up so that way they see the film. I was going to pull it up because when you had went offline for a hot second, So here we go. This is where you can retrieve the movie. TerryCCarneySr.com. Ice-T Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic. You can make your donations here. And then here's the film, but I'm not going to play it. And some merch. So TerryCCarneySr.com. Okay? So for those that haven't watched the film documentary, it's very important that you do, because it's happening everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. This is something that's very important, and we all need to come together. And I challenge all the podcasters and media and everyone that has a voice to please speak up about this film and help to, shepherd this movement. Well, with that being said, Mr. Farmer, I don't want to hold you. It was such a wonderful.
And there's one more thing about us as a group, as a whole, that's very important too. Once you stop this nonsense, now you go from taxpayers to tax burden to taxpayer. The number one thing after that, mobilize your vote. Mobilize your vote, not for federal government. When the president, because let me tell you, you got 271 million registered white voters last election, 38 million Mexicans, Latinos, 36 million black, 34 million other. Next year, it's going to be reversed to where the black vote's going to be the lowest. I stayed in Washington, D.C., where I used to work at the Rayburn building, spoke at the Senate, used to be on SpeechBand, had a show. I stayed out there. I know the game. You must vote locally to where your vote matters. It doesn't matter when you're really voting, because you got electorals, but not only so much that, you got 10 states that's 90% white. Let me show you some statistics for a minute. You got 10 states that's 90% white. You got 271 registered white voters. So that means you got 38, 34, 36. That's about 111, 15. 9, that's about 105, 115. So that means it's 2 to 1 in voting. So that means if 41, 50, 49, 51 mean a majority in the Senate and Congress, that's power. So why do you think your vote matters when they got 291? No matter if all y'all voted together, it don't matter. That's for the populist vote. So what do you do to balance that out? Since all them don't live in your community, you can erase them. You only need the community, the votes that's in your community. So now when you run for elected office, which I've done before, run political action committee, and I'm not saying it to brag it, I'm just letting you know I'm speaking from experience. Nigga, ain't shit I read, dang goofy ass. Y'all read shit. So anyway, what you do, look at a percentage. Okay, we in the LA 8th district, we got 100,000 registered black voters. Now, half you niggas can't read, sign your name with an X. And if it costs a quarter of shit, you got to throw up. So we're going to lead your blind ass to the poll. And let me tell you what'll happen during these elections. They'll sit and go get the homeless person that if, hell, they falling and can't get up. But goddamn me, they'll put them on a wheelchair to get their asses to sit and make a crowd the way you think. Like when I was with, who was that lady? Running for president. What's the white lady name? Running for president.
Oh, Hillary.
What's her name?
Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
We working with Hillary. She go to Southwest College. We sitting there, and you'd have thought it was 1 million people there. They don't bust them in from the homeless shelter, pull them out of tents. I'm telling you. But that's the propaganda and the falseness you see. So why not, like I went back to where you must change your elected officials in your community. You'll have a red state, but a democratically controlled, marginalized community. And there's a reason for this. Because they can't talk tough on crime because so much crime happens where they'll go talking about gun control, whereas the Republicans with the majority tell them make gun laws to lock the animals up. So they get they votes no matter what. Amber Alert, Megan's Law. Name me a black law. In fact, name me a gang that go kill any other race. I'll wait. Name me a black law. Name me anything of race or blacks in America that go kill another race. I'll wait. But I can name every race that got one that can kill me or you. That's how gang goofy this shit is.
Mm.
Real people, ain't it, young player? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Race. And then I got to be worried about my own race too. Because it's hard to catch your own killer when he the same color as you and it's a little boy with that backpack with that gun or got that gun up on his pants. So I always watch where their hands set when I walk. Look up to me with your hands. See, these are little tidbits. Or like the drive-by when I tell parents in LA, what should I do, Melvin? Well, when they driving and kill you, that's how stupid they is. They don't care if the kid be in the car. You stay to the nearest yellow of the lane. That way, when you're over here and they come from the window, they got the reach to come from the back, and usually you can turn out. Never park behind a car. And one thing about y'all come to California, these hats. Oh, that was the name of the thing I wrote, The Prevalence of Color. As I talked about the elevation where it wasn't no colors, we sold training. It's the crosshair ring, then the blue and the red, now the saggy hair, now the stripes. You must watch that in California. For instance, I had a girl sent her son down here a couple years ago. He's going to UCLA from Texas, where he got that T hat on. And he's staying on 63rd and Crenshaw. That's Nipsey Hussle. They don't get along with us. They don't get along with them. But I seen him and I called his mother, tell your son, go take that hat off before they kill him over there. The only reason they didn't kill him because of the fact he knew nobody would be that dumb to wear a hat over there unless they wasn't from there and they gave him. See, those are the intricate things that you can't, that they not going to tell you because they're not in the streets. Rappers are not in the streets to tell you the things we can tell you as me as a parent. Because I got to do everything to protect my seed that's out there that could get killed. So by me protecting mine and us protecting others, we're helping society. So who really is the hero? Y'all glorify people that are rappers. I don't say I'm a rapper, but they sure say they're a gang member. I ain't no athlete. They sure claim a gang. I ain't no what else? Actor, rapper, entertainer. But they're sure. Why is it they must? Why they can't say, like they do in football? I'm Melvin Farmer, Washington High. I'm Melvin Farmer, degree. Oh no, you just got to be cool and I'm from this set. God damn, everybody in the world working. Oh, I feel like Benjamin Banneker. I want you all. I tell you, this should have your hair grow back.
Wow.
It really is. It's really gang goofy, this generation stars. Because the internet. And the internet is a great playground to be a liar.
Yeah.
Especially when you got mentally ill suckers looking at you that still believe wrestling real. You know what type of audience that is. They believe wrestling real. God damn.
When I was a little girl, my dad, may he rest in peace. So I used to watch WWE and WWF with him, right? And I'm like, Dad, I saw the guy, pick up the chair, and but he didn't really hit him.
Your dad is
I was like, I picked up on that when I was little.
Let me tell you how bad these boys is in the South in the penitentiary. And how gang goofy they ass, because you let Charleston White down there, I'm going to light y'all gang goofy ass or something. Y'all get it right. You know, when you're in Georgia, there are so many perverts that when you're in Georgia prison, you can't walk with your hands in your pocket because they'll go to jacking off. I seen a dude jack off to a correctional officer that was asleep where her wig was backwards and he sweared she was looking at him. That's what they do. So I can see why this is a perverted time. So we in there one day and they had wrestling coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And I be goddamn, you'd have thought it was the Super Bowl. The wrestling didn't come on for 3 or 4 days. They don't line chairs up where nobody can sit there so they can watch women wrestle. Now, they watch wrestling if only for one reason. To see the girls wrestling in the leotard. And boy, they go to acting like they hear me. Ooh, did you see that titty? Did you see that? They pervert. So that's how it is in Georgia prison. You don't work, you don't eat. In fact, I went to the hole one time where this Negro had the nerve, the police, to tell me to say hi to a horse. Nigga, I didn't speak and watch Mr. Edge. You think I'm gonna say hi to a horse? So did. When we first went, me and my boy from New York, he's still in there. He got a murder, speaking of gun violence. What up, boy? We had flip-flops and plastic plants, and we going up in there. Oh, and my boy, so y'all will know who I looked out for, and y'all gonna love me. Brian Nichols, look him up. That's my boy. I had made a job. He behind E-Wing on death row. Free Brian Nichols. And anyway, I forgot what I said, so I'm gonna go on up there, and it's gonna come back again. And we talking about Brian Nichols now. Brian Nichols, this is the criminal justice system, had 3 hung juries in Georgia where they said, the lady said she raped everybody. And to have 3 hung juries, I used to sit and talk to him every day, man. And you know, when you get the death penalty in Georgia, when you go to the yard, you go use the bathroom right at the death chamber where they lay him on the chair, got the audience. So you're in the death chamber when you go on the yard at Jackson State. Oh, I know what I was talking about. See how I went back about me going to the hole about saying hi to that goddamn horse, Miss Lady. See how I go? I'll be back to him later on death row. So anyway, we standing out in the rain. You got this state trooper they call GBIs, Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Ain't nobody under 220 that look like Smokey the Bear. They not playing. In fact, that's who got Gunner and any other rapper. GBIs ain't no joke. That's who got me. So anyway, we sitting there, it's raining, and he's sitting on the horse. This prisoner, we got on flip-flops, little paper suit this color. And he say, what you gonna learn here, boy? Is you gonna say, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir. When I say yes, sir, you say yes, sir. So they did that. Now, we taking this over with, and I'll be goddamn. He said, goddamn me, we in Georgia. You gonna say hi to this horse? I told my homie, I ain't a nigga. I'm going to the hole. I ain't saying hi to no. I thought he was playing. So everybody else said hi to the horse. But we ain't saying it, me and my boy in the rain. And so this is the trick they play on you to make it. They tell everybody until they say hi to the horse, y'all to be standing out in it in this rain. So that means now they want to turn on us. They're going to want the inmates to turn on us. See how they go? We ain't saying shit. I wasn't. And that was my first time went to the hole. Then the second time I had to stay up some Mexicans where they ran their asses up and gonna try to run up on me. And these are verifiable events where you check your guns in, but they play with knives in Georgia prison. It's very brutal. Very brutal in Georgia prison. You can't lock yourself. One day I had a knife on me and GBI came in there and I got the knife on me because we making them where they put them like a slip knot where we can have it where they slide and hide here. You got them in your cup and when you're walking down, you got them right here where you can't feel it. And I got one on me and GBI run up. I poked out on my mama. I gave the police the knife. Got searched. After it's locked down, went right back and got the knife. That's how they go. I stayed there a year when you're only supposed to stay 90 days because the rule of the game is I'm from California. If you're a correctional officer there, you got to look out for me. And that's how that went. So I'm making money. And luckily I had her where I made her call my mama and my partner to where I have her number. So if I got in some shit, I could blackball her and not tell her. And it came in handy when I had to stab the two Mexicans and I went to the hole because they told on me. I got away with it. The niggas told on me and rolled me up. That's how I went to the hole. So she got scared and I had to tell her, if you tell on me, I'm telling on you. And that's how that went. So I stayed in shit down there. Another time they had a blood from what was that? Not New something. New. You from New. Cause we down in Calhoun. That's on the border of Jackson, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. We getting Jacksonville football. That's how close we to Florida and then Alabama on the other side. And who was I talking about this boy here? See, I have to go back because I drift off. And then it'll come back. And so, oh yeah, we had Calhoun. So now we at Calhoun. And this dude here gonna tell me, oh no, Jackson. After that, we go to the hole. A lot of people don't know Fulton County, where Young Thug, they had an incident there where the police brought guns in there and they shot each other with the police. Fulton County is the worst county, and what happened with Young Thug case, and what a lot of people don't know, it drained the state of Georgia when it come to a lot of dudes probably got out because a correctional officer in Georgia only make $2,000 a month. Mm-hmm. That's $500 a week, where here in Los Angeles, they making up to 150 just regular officers. You don't want to really be no captain or lieutenant because that comes from seniority for overtime. And you get so much overtime because of the prison violence here. You want to be where you could just volunteer all day because they can be at that. So that was the difference in that and the prison system. But yeah, that happened when we went there to Georgia State Prison. You didn't get no, I thought I was in the movie Life. It actually is. You don't get no sugar, you don't work, you stay housed up like a piece of wood. I did 5 years there. It's very hard to get out of Georgia prison and be from another state. They brutal. Zero tolerance and everything else. Hey, senorita. Hola.
Oh, wow. Huh? Wow, that's interesting. I thought that California had it worse than a lot of the other states.
No. That's just no. California actually is watered down now because you have protective custody and snitches. Like hip hop, it's watered down. You had real bona fide guys. Now it's watered down with what? Snitches, rats, wannabes. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Wannabe killers, and they want to be gangsters. That's you hit it right on the head. Back to art, and they go back to this movie, authenticity. Right. I don't see how nobody will sit up there and look at rap and things of that nature nowadays and think they are entertainers or stars. You had to earn your way to do whatever in sports. You had to earn it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the white man is making them create their own stir. So every day you got everybody trying to top somebody with a film or do something to make it where you go viral.
Right.
They don't do a million goddamn times, ain't made a dime, ain't cute. When you hear them talking about money, they're plotters. When you hear them talking about what they can do to help the community, that's who you run with. They plan it.
If you see them with a mask, a ski mask, and a weapon, where does she? Hopefully he can come back on. Let's see. Well, if you haven't checked out the film documentary, Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic, please do so. Let me go ahead and pull this back up here. Just go to terryccarneysr.com and then the film is right here, and then or you can donate, and there's merch. I need to go ahead and get my I need to get a shirt from them. But please make sure that you check out the film documentary. It's really a movement, and we need to have everybody, join. Um, Hopefully, I don't know if I lost him, or I know that he said his phone was about to die because of his battery source. So let's see. Let me see if I could get him on here. Okay. While we're waiting, I don't know if you've seen the documentary already, but it would be great to have folks join us in regards to this film documentary so we can talk about it. And for those that would like to see the film, I'm open to having a live watch or a live screening virtually. So DM me and let me know if you're interested. That'll be great. Let's see here. With that being said, hopefully he can join back. But if not, then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Let's see. 1 second. I'm gonna contact him. Okay. Well, I'm going to show the film, the snippet, so that way you can see.
When I was 13, I seen my cousin get smoked right in front of me. Everybody thought it was fireworks, flames this long coming out of barrels.
There was a kid that was bullying me. I got my cousin's 45, and I had every intention of when he got off the bus walking down to that park and murdering him.
There was a drive-by. Tragically, my grandson was the one that got hit in the head.
And what happens is this. You're always going to hear that mother, hear that family howl.
Please, would y'all please put the guns down?
Me being a mother losing my son, I can't tell myself nothing.
Feel like you don't have another alternative to gun violence? Think again.
I was 12 years old, and it was already understood in my brain that I wasn't gonna never be nowhere without a gun again. Period.
Want a flick ass? Okay.
You remember Scarface? He said, "Say hello to my little." I wanted one just like that.
This is an epidemic, for God's sake.
Oh, every time I see the just the introductory of the film documentary, it gives me chills. And if you've seen it already, I would like to get you on here so we can discuss the film documentary and see how you can help. We all can help each other in our communities to combat this gun violence and just violence in general. Well, with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Please also, let's continue to support the Unity for Social Justice. Let's free Master Yo, Prentice Banks, and Jay Burton, and others that need our support. This has been a broadcast of Showing Love, Full Circle, between NNO 360 and Mr. Melvin Farmer. Hopefully I can get him back on the show so we can continue this conversation. It's a lot going on. Well, with that being said, Take care. Make sure you please check out the film documentary, Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic. Love you guys. Mwah. And don't forget to tap in and watch the new film documentary. It's really a movement called Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic, produced by Ice-T and directed by Carney Sr, director of the film documentary Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic. And if you guys haven't tapped in yet, please be sure to go on Apple TV, Prime Video, Google TV. Make sure that you check out the film, okay? Put the Guns Down, and World Epidemic. And we need to work together for this movement. So I'll see you tonight. Annette, warm-hearted warrior diva at In the Know 360. Love you guys. Mwah.